Y'all listen up as I narrate the Vector's tale. A man from afar riding the temporal gale. Ronin by name and a Ronin by fate. In the tapestry of time he's got a date. He ain't just saving, he's exploring the rift. In the timelines he travels, he's given a lift. Seeking tech and secrets in a world that's gone astray. Ronin's the man who's gonna find a way. Ronin Vector, the chrono navigator. In the flow of time, he's the prime innovator. Exploring the realms where few dare to venture. He's the Ronin Vector, the timeline's avenger. From a future so bright to our present so bleak, he's the silent watcher, the tech he does seek. Not just a savior, but a seeker of lore. Ronin's the key to what we're looking for. Through the ruins and the relics, he's making his mark. A beacon of hope in the timeline so dark. With every secret he finds, every piece he retrieves. He's crafting a future nobody believes. Ronin Vector, with a vision so clear. In the shadows of time, he's got nothing to fear. An explorer at heart, with a will that won't sever. He's the Ronin Vector, forever and ever. So when you feel the ground shake and the air gets colder, know that Ronin's passing by as the world grows older. In the whispers of time, his legends inscribed. Ronin Vector, the man who defied. Ronin Vector, the chrono navigator. In the flow of time, he's the prime innovator. Exploring the realms where few dare to venture. He's the Ronin Vector, the timeline's avenger. Ronin Vector, with a vision so clear. In the shadows of time, he's got nothing to fear. An explorer at heart, with a will that won't sever. He's the Ronin Vector, forever and ever. So when you feel the ground shake and the air gets colder, know that Ronin's passing by as the world grows older. In the whispers of time, his legends inscribed. Ronin Vector, the man who defied.
Hello and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good wherever you are, whenever you are. My name, Ronin Vector. My mission, to acquire the experience of your timeline and bring it back with me. People like to see what you guys are up to. And what better way than to see it through my eyes? And in a way, you get to kind of see what that's like in your timeline. Because I'm kind of doing it to you too. Now, we are back again today. I had some unavoidable errands I needed to take care of yesterday. But we are back today with the Uncanny X-Men #7. Now, it's not called Uncanny yet, but it will retroactively will be referred as such, I believe. So let's take a little bit of a look here where we left off. Now, we started on issue 3, our last round, or wait a minute. Yeah. We started on issue 4, which was the second round with the Magneto's evil mutants, or the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. which doesn't really help your cause too much. I mean, we already know he's ready to commit genocide against humanity. So like calling yourself evil, at least he's owning it, right? I imagine like he's retroactively going to say at some point like, well, the humans all think all mutants are evil, so I'm just living up to the title. You know, I think that's what it's going to be played off as later, before it's like dropped altogether, is my guess. Because like there's not many, like I really doubt Magneto views himself as the bad guy. Necessary evil, sure, but there is no way in Magneto's mind that he is like the central antagonist. He is the hero of his own story. So that's why I always found the idea of like labeling yourself the evil brotherhood. Not that anyone's intentions here are good. Like Magneto is the closest one to having a good intention as far as what's at stake for the world. And even then, it amounts to slavery and genocide. So this was the second round where they rescued Angel, and then Professor Xavier finally fessed up and said, yeah, I'm a big fat faker. I was faking it the whole time. As far as like losing his powers, because it was the final test. They needed to graduate. Okay, old man. Okay. And then the very next issue, we get the first official crossover, I would argue. You could say, I think, in the very first issue, they had the Daily Bugle, Spider-Man's place of employment for a long time. So one could argue that's technically actually that's the first crossover, but I would call this the first real crossover in terms of getting a character, them being part of a bigger world outside of their own adventures. So I imagine if you didn't know anything about Namor, when this, like if you only had read X-Men back in the day, didn't know or care who Namor was, like, I'm not sure why anyone would want him on their team. The guy is just a straight up prick. Not really sure what the attraction is for that character. Like, there was no way Magneto was going to get him to do what he wanted, you know? So, I don't know. But I guess it was like it was a push, you know? Magneto didn't get him, Xavier didn't get him, and Namor learned nothing. So overall, I'd call it a very nothing issue. But I think it's only notable because it is the first crossover, to me. And I guess it kind of shows Namor post trying to get over Sue Storm. Because I believe this takes place like right after, I guess she said, nah, I'm going to stay married. So that leads us up to issue number 7, The Return of the Blob. And we had covered the Blob. I want to say he was in issue number 3. I'm not going to go back that far. But yeah, we had covered the Blob, his first appearance. He's just a straight up asshole, man. He's kind of gross. I mean, he basically treats Jean the same way everybody else does, but it's gross when he does it. And that's it. Yeah. Oh, look, Scarlet gets to be Scarlet. It's funny, her first appearance on a comic book, she was green. How do you fuck that up so bad? I know it must have just been some kind of misprint that they couldn't. It's like, we're too far in, boys. She's green. She's just gonna be fucking green on the cover. There's nothing we can do about it. So it's nice to see her. I mean, calling it Scarlet, it's definitely pinkish, but it's in the red family, right? We got the usual suspects here. Stan Lee is the writer, Jack Kirby, penciler, Schick Stone, inker, 4 uncredited colorist, Artie Simek for the editor, and Stan Lee again as the editor. And this was released in July 2nd, 1964. Time period I know very little about. So, with that said, let's do it. Now, I had to use a whole different setup to get this working today because overnight, the Marvel Unlimited decided I could no longer view comics on my PC. Just, So I had to download a goddamn Android emulator and then download the Marvel Unlimited app to be able to use this. But I will admit, there's arguably a neat feature that we might make use of. So with that little my bitching aside, let's do it. Let's get some music going here. All right. The X-Men, the return of the Blob. The surprise of the year in this jam-packed issue, you will meet the X-Men's new leader. Also co-featuring the evil you-know-whos. Now, such a little tiny nitpick, but isn't it pretty presumptuous on the 7th issue for people to know who the evil Brotherhood of Mutants are? I think it's a little presumptuous. But maybe, I guess that could be like the creator's way of like, if you know, you know. I don't know. It's a nothing criticism. X-Men, the most unusual teenagers of all time. The return of the Blob. I see he's just straight up diapering it this time. Co-starring Magneto and his evil mutants. We got through all that. Look at them, looking all graduated. Man, could Cyclops look any more unhappy? Fuck's sake, dude. It's come at last. The moment we've been waiting for. We are looking at the Uncanny X-Men, accompanied by Professor Xavier, as they pose before an automatic camera on their graduation day. But perhaps the smiles would not come so easily if they could suspect the incredible dangers they will soon be facing. Yeah, see, so I kind of like that the app, anyways, zooms in on the specific places you want to look, you want to read. I could appreciate that. What are we watching this on some kind of weird dial television? Oh no, that's supposed to be the camera. I get it. Okay, that's the aperture and iris of the camera. That's the focus ring. I get it. I'm smart, I swear. Then, after the memorable photo has been snapped. Professor, I've been waiting for a chance to tell you how much I appreciate all you've done for me, and for all of us. Nonsense, Scott. All I did was take the talent you already had and channel it in the right direction. You youngsters did all the work. But without you, we would have remained misfits in a world that could have never understood us, with no purpose, no goals. Jean, I'm pretty sure you would have been alright. I think you would have figured it out. It's not like he was like Angel or Iceman, where, I mean, can't really hide their powers if they fuck up. Although, knowing all the Phoenix stuff to come, I guess, yeah, she probably would have killed everybody. Let's see. Did the picture come out okay, Bobby? Don't ask me, pal. Ask the camera. Perhaps we should send a photo to Magneto with a suitable inscription, such as, "Always thinking of you." So that's a nice little moment. They kind of sucks that their parents can be there, I guess. Like, maybe they had like maybe they're gonna have like a second fake graduation. Because, I mean, it's a private school, you know, you'd think it'd be a big deal. Like, parents would be invited, and But then again, they all, at least as far as Jean Grey's parents are concerned, you know, they're part of some top secret government training program. You know, their graduation needs to be top secret. All right, I'll headcanon it away. I relent. Now that the ceremony is over, I'd best return to my chair. Let me help you, sir. Thank you, Jean. You've mastered your telekinetic power perfectly. Just as all of you have mastered your mutant powers to my complete satisfaction, there is nothing more I can teach you. Say, Professor, I just noticed my diploma's a blank. There's no writing on it. Naturally, my uncomprehending friend. It was just a prop for the photo. You wouldn't expect a diploma which reveals to the world that you are a full-fledged X-Man, would you? As a matter of fact, I do have diplomas for you which testify that you've successfully completed your normal prep school curriculum, as indeed you have done. Okay, so they've been doing real school stuff, probably high-level school stuff, as they've been doing this. There's a fine line between like a military training facility and a school for gifted youngsters. I mean, one could argue, I mean, I don't know. He sent them on missions before they graduated, but he was also using that as a qualifier to graduate them. I don't know. I mean, they're kind of child soldiers a little bit. A little. Again, they're better off than where they would be without him, but it's interesting. I wonder if at some point they question that, like, yeah, you're teaching us, we're helping people, but at the end of the day, you are teaching us, you know, how to fight, essentially. Utilize their powers to resolve conflict, whatever that may look like. But, you know, I could be greatly underestimating how they use their powers on a day-to-day basis to help people, you know. Like, I could imagine Iceman would be a very big help for, like, drought relief efforts if he's able to draw moisture from the air in one place and then kind of deposit it somewhere else. So I would like to think, like, in between their adventures where they're having, you know, these massive battles, they're just kind of doing... I hope so. I don't know. It'd be a shame, like, if Bobby Drake went after this, like, in between being an X-Man, like, worked at McDonald's, or, you know what I mean? I mean, that's his right, but... And now, I shall not bore you with the long speeches, but I must tell you this. You are each more than Homo sapiens. You are the forerunners of Homo superior. Superior man. You each have a priceless extra mutant power to be used for the good of humanity. I think that's the thing I like the most about... I mean, I don't like the underlying theme that we are better, we must be stewards of humanity, we must... You know what I mean? It's a little arrogant, but I like his... I don't know if I'd call it naivete, but the idea that if we're good enough, the world could be good too, you know? If we're unflinching in the face of cruelty, then hearts and minds will change. But again, this kind of cycles back into his arrogance that, you know, just because you have power, it makes you better. Just because... you know, you are better, it doesn't mean everyone else around you will be better. You know, it's... free will's a hell of a drug. So it's interesting. I'm curious, like, how many times we'll watch him turn and kind of veer from that ideal. And you still keep your X-Men identity secret. Oh, and you must still keep your X-Men identity secret, for the world of ordinary humans is not yet ready to accept you, while Magneto and his band of evil mutants will still seek to destroy you. And now it is time for me to bid you farewell. Farewell? I'm going to assume they're all saying that. Yes. I have many unfinished tasks which I must now turn my attention to, so I must leave you for a while. But before I go, I shall appoint one of you as group leader to act in my behalf until I return. Meanwhile, in a lonely ramshackle mansion which stands high upon a windy hill, half hidden at the edge of town, another conversation takes place. Who's speaking? Mastermind. Oh, yeah, we never got to see the full... Okay, so it is part of the same page. Still trying to figure out the app a little bit. Well, well, if it isn't the beautiful but haughty Scarlet Witch, to what do I owe the honor of this visit? Don't flatter yourself, Mastermind. You know I did not come to see you. Magneto has summoned me here. Where is he? He hasn't arrived yet, but while we're alone, I have something to say to you, my lovely one. Nothing you could say would interest me, and you know it. I hate this rapey bastard. Wanda, you are a fool. With you beside me, we could accomplish anything. Together, our power might even exceed Magneto's. You lie. You have no real power, merely the gift of creating illusions. But I care not for power. Once I've paid my debt to Magneto, I hope to leave this dreadful band and be free at last. But see what I could do for you. At the slightest gesture, I give you a palace to reside in. I can surround you with luxury. What does it matter if it is merely an illusion? It will always seem real to you. In the meanwhile, she's basically just sitting in like a fucking trailer, drooling the whole time, while he's just doing whatever with her. I hate this dude. He cannot die soon enough if he ever does. No, with you, even a palace would seem like a hovel to me. Then I can offer you travel. With the snap of a finger, we could be in Europe, on an open-air terrace overlooking the Riviera or the Swiss Alps. Enough, you weary me with your empty images. When will Magneto arrive? Magneto, I am always to be plagued by that name. He does not feel about you as I do. He has no emotions, no heart. Stay back, the very sight of you is repugnant to me. Oh, come on. Mastermind, you dare? Who? Crash! Magneto! Yes, Magneto, the one who can snuff out your treacherous life as easily as I snuff out a candle. Magneto, the one you have sworn allegiance to. Forgive me, I meant you no harm. You know I am loyal to you. Bah, loyalty is for Homo sapiens. I expect no loyalty. I only demand fear and blind obedience. What noise happened? That noise? What happened? Wanda, are you all right? Yes, my brother, do not worry. I shall worry, as long as we must serve Magneto. But hear this, evil ones. If any harm ever comes to my sister, you shall all answer to Quicksilver. I have pledged that None shall be harmed as long as you obey me implicitly. And now, enough of this charade. There's work to be done. So we got the classic crew here. Mastermind, Wanda, Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch, Toad, Magneto. I wonder why they decided not to use, actually, I guess they kind of just used whatever in the first X-Men movie. Kind of a blend of classic and more contemporary X-Men. Oops. Remember, before we can find a way to conquer and rule the inferior humans who inhabit our planet, we must first defeat their self-styled protectors, the accursed X-Men. And I have devised a new plan to destroy them.
Ha! I knew you would strike back again, Master. Mighty Magneto fears nothing.
Silence, Toad. Keep your cackling comments to yourself till I am done. So I feel like they did drop it, but something that they brought up during not the name, the issue where Magneto and the group captured Angel. The X-Men ended up capturing Toad, and I felt like they dropped something that they'll probably never pick up again, but Magneto has the ability to hypnotize and brainwash people, and it kind of seemed like the longer Toad was away, like the more distressed he was getting, the more confused. I wouldn't be surprised if Toad has been like brainwashed this whole time, like he fucked his mind up as like, he was like the first mutant he ever experimented on for like mind control or some shit, and he's just been fucked in the head ever since. That would be a great twist. I know I'm reading too much into it, but... While back at the X-Men's secret school... Scott, would you accompany me to the West Wing? Certainly, sir. Strange. This is the one section that had been off-limits to us. I imagined that you have long wondered what is kept in this darkened, locked section of the school. Yes, sir. We all have been curious about it for months. Then, after the lights are turned on... Gosh, what is all that? Something I've been working on for a very long time. You are the only other person who will share my secret. Hell yeah, see? 420 blaze it. He smokes too. It is actually a complex ESP machine which I call Cerebro. From the Latin cerebrum, meaning the brain. Its sole purpose is to aid in the detecting of new mutant brainwaves to help us locate other mutants, both good and evil. ESP, extrasensory perception. Editor. These wires lead directly to my private office, transmitting all ESP data as soon as it is received. But sir, why do you need that machine? I thought you could detect other mutants by the power of your brain alone. True, Scott. I personally have little need for such apparatus, but while I am gone, the one who will replace me will find it most useful. The one who replaces you? You dick. Exactly. I have decided that you, the X-Man known as Cyclops, shall be the leader until I return. Me? But sir, the Beast is a better scholar, while Angel is more aggressive and... But it is you who possesses the rare quality of leadership. My decision stands. And so, early the next morning, imagine no doonies for us old grads today. Let's have a real celebration. Too bad the professor can't join us, but he's already left. It's a pleasure to be divested of the encumbrance of our X-Men uniforms.
I wish you'd learn to speak English, Hank. You talk funny. Hey, let's go find Scotty boy.
The light's on in the professor's study. Let's see if Scott's behind the professor's desk.
I just remembered. Professor Xavier said he'd chosen a group leader.
Of course, it was the logical selection.
Congratulations, Cyclops.
Thank you. Come in, please. I want you to know that I didn't ask for this assignment. In fact, I didn't desire it. I had been thinking of leaving the X-Men. Leaving the X-Men? Why, Scotty? You know how I fear the power beam which emanates from my eyes. I shudder to think what would ever happen if it accidentally gets out of my control. I've hoped to visit various doctors to seek a cure, but the professor convinced me it is my duty to remain, to use my power against all evil, no matter how I dread the task. That's interesting. So even right up, until graduation, it seemed like he was thinking of leaving. Seems to be like a common theme where he almost seems to get out, and then right when I think I'm out, you pull me back in. Ooh-ah. I think that's kind of interesting. And if Storm was here right now, she'd throw a fucking fit. A fucking cure? I don't think so, boy. But I get it. Like, nobody wants to, like, wake up in the middle of the night and then look at their wife and accidentally blow off her head, you know? I think we underestimate, like, how much of a pain in the ass it would be to have lasers constantly blasting from your eyes. I'm not even sure how the glasses work, to be honest. I know that there's supposed to be like some kind of ruby composite, some kind of material like that, but it doesn't, I never really got it. Like, does it just reflect back into his head? Wouldn't there be some kind of energy feedback anyways? So I hope we do get some kind of explanation about his glasses, how they work. How does he see with his visor if the shutter has to stay down? I guess it's like some kind of composite ruby shutter. Questions for later.
We know how you feel, Scotty, and we're with you all the way, pal. Oh, Scott, we all understand, but you've made the right decision. We've studied together so long, worked so hard, we just can't split up now.
The way she looks at him. How can he be so unmoved? Can't he see how she feels about him? Why not join us, Scott? It might be good therapy for you. I'd like nothing better than to be with you, but I must remain here to look after things. The professor would want it this way. I hope you all have a good time. No, he would tell you to fucking leave and plow Jean Grey. I'm sorry, but if the professor wants to do it, I can't help but think he would want Scott to do it. We know that from issue 3. Okay then, Scotty. If any evil mutants come knocking at our door, give us a whistle.
We'll be back before dinner, Scott. I know the coolest little coffee shop in Greenwich Village, with the dreamiest waitress.
You're not fooling anybody, Iceman. You're not fooling anybody. Well then, lead on, Macduff. They've gone, and here I sit, alone. Now for the first time I can realize how it must have been for the professor, all those long months, always apart, always alone. Well, I mean, his brain
So it's probably not as alone as he looks. Slowly, thoughtfully, the X-Man known as Cyclops slides back the top panel of his desk back, revealing an array of complex electronic controls. Beep, 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 beep. Now, to listen to the steady drone of Cerebro's voice. That sounds maddening. He's just listening to that fucking thing beep for hours on end. Beep, 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 beep. Unable to leave my post, unless an alarm is sounded, and yet, dreading the moment I hear that alarm, for it can only mean the menace of Magneto. Well, that's not true. First of all, I have a lot of questions about how Cerebro works without the professor physically needing to be there. So I guess it's a machine that can replicate what Professor X does? Or is it magnifying like a regular human's latent psychic ability? Or is he like subconsciously connected to it while he's away? I got so many questions. And why does it only communicate in beeps? Like, can't it just beep when it, detects something? Like, nobody wants to hear that hours on end. Just saying. Not great engineering. I don't know who helped him make that thing, but... Meanwhile, at the noisy carnival at the edge of town. Back when a kid could walk around with a fake gun and not get gunned down in the street. Although one could argue he has a very important qualifying factor there, but I'm not going to get into that. This appears to be the one place I can appear in public with impunity. All who see me think I am merely another costumed performer. Here he is, folks. The one, the only, the unbelievable Blob. Stand back now, give him room. He is the one I seek. Once the Blob plants his feet on the ground, nothing can budge him. Go ahead, Jumbo, pull. He is pulling. If he pulls any harder, that cable will snap. Medical science is unable to explain the Blob, with a skin so tough that it can withstand. But see for yourself. Fire! Oof. He'll be killed! No, he won't. I've seen this act before. Whomp. See, his body cushions the impact like a large pillow. I was right. That is no mere human. He is a mutant. What a valuable addition he will be to my powerful band of Homo superiors. With one such as him on our side, we shall be immeasurably stronger than the unsuspecting X-Men. What's up, Rube? Blob, I desire to speak with you. Silently, one of the most powerful mutant minds on Earth begins to probe the Blob's brain. Strange, there's a mental block there. I cannot penetrate his mind. So what is his... I would love to know. So is he kind of like a little bit psychic? Like not as psychic as Charles? But I don't know. Like, I'm curious. I understand he's using electromagnetic waves to like do stuff. I'm just curious how does he perceive the thoughts of other people through electromagnetic waves? I guess he could like transmit them back into his brain. I know it's not important. It doesn't matter. Hey, who in the Sam Hill are you, Mac? What are you doing with my performer? Who am I? I am power. but you may call me Magneto. Mark that name well, Homo sapien. Soon you and all your inferior kind shall pay homage. I don't know what your game is, Mac, but if it's a fight you want, you came to the right place. Hey, Rube. Fool, you still do not comprehend the awesome force you are daring to challenge. Seconds later, in answer to the time-honored Carney battle cry, the group of husky roustabouts charged the mighty mutant. Let's get that costume net. But before they could reach Magneto, no one may touch the master. Like a human bouncing cannonball, the incredibly high-jumping Toad leaps back and forth, up and down, scattering the dazed roustabouts like tenpins, with the speed and agility second only to that of the beast. Magneto must never be harmed. Then, before the stunned Carney men can regroup their forces, a speeding, careening lightning-swift figure races through them so quickly that only a hazy blur can be seen. Hey, what's going on here? Look out, there's another one! Possessed of speed many times greater than any normal Homo sapien could hope to attain, the mutant, Quicksilver, startles and confuses the stunned humans. It ain't possible, he's so fast you can hardly see him. And then, hey, what happened to my steak driver? Montu, we must be dreaming. This isn't a dream, this is a living nightmare. Out of nowhere, a volcano erupted right in the Carney grounds. So, you call my great powers mere illusions, do you? See how they throw an entire group of fighting men into sheer panic, my lovely? But you could not throw those accursed images everywhere at once. Even now, some roustabouts are approaching from behind this wagon. Thrown off balance by the surprise attack, Mastermind momentarily loses control of his illusions and runs in panic. Grab those two. They're in league with the others. No, don't hurt us. Quiet, you shameless coward. My own hex power is enough to save us. All I need to do is cause a continual mishaps to befall our attackers. Hold it up, you guys. Don't chase them anymore. They're too much for us. Minutes later, Magneto and his mutants are finally alone with the Blob. I offer you a chance to join my band. You can be one of us to share our triumphs over the Homo sapiens. Mister, I don't know who you are, what you want, but I don't need any of you. Stop. Consider your words. If you are with us, then we must treat... If you are not with us, then we must treat you as an enemy. I cannot leave you here on the chance that the X-Men may one day recruit you to join them. I must... What? You would dare lay a hand on the person of Magneto? Look, Rube, I'm gonna show you that nobody scares the Blob. Not even a bunch of big-talking costume clowns. Suddenly, an irresistible magnetic impulse affects the utility pipes directly underground, and they snap to the surface with titanic force. Fool, be grateful I have only deigned to use a fraction of the limitless magnetic power which I possess. And then, the carpicious fate enters the picture as the force of impact jars loose part of the mental block which Professor X had previously put over the Blob's memory. Oh, I remember now. I'm a mutant. The X-Men are my enemies. They were afraid I'd join Magneto, but I will. I will join him. At that very instant, At X-Men headquarters, a siren begins to howl like a banshee as the name of the blob lights up under the others on the master control panel. There's... like, these are just always there. I wonder who the unknown is supposed to be. Namor, I guess? And why is it only detecting the blob? They're all there. Every single one of them are there. Retroactively, it only makes sense that Magneto can't be detected. Too many questions. The siren, the blob's name bursting into light. It can only mean one thing. His memory has returned. He's joined the evil mutants. How can you possibly gather that much from the light lighting up? From what frame of reference could he possibly be using to determine that they recruited him by a light blinking? Come on, comic book, get your life together. The professor is gone. It is up to me to take command. I dare not fail. I've got to contact the others. I'll check their destinations in the sign-out book. I can reach the Angel through his car radio. Sign-out book? Whatever. No GPS. Meanwhile, at Greenwich Village coffee shop, the Beast and Iceman are enjoying a taste of the bohemian side of New York. How about that jazz combo, Hank? It's so far out that they'll be fired if anyone can understand the melody. Is Hank just sitting with some floozy? Do you like the Zen poetry Bernard is reading, big boy? Poetry? I assumed he was checking on a housewife's shopping list aloud. He is. That's what makes him a genius. Go, cat, go! I'm sure this is still happening somewhere in the world. Perhaps, the trouble with you, Hank, is that you can't understand anybody who doesn't use 10-syllable words. Perhaps, Bobby, but at the moment, my most vexing problem is this pair of tight brogans I'm wearing. The agony is excruciating. Take 'em off, neighbor. In this place, nobody'll even notice. Ah, what a blessed relief. Isn't Hank supposed to be around their age? He looks like he's, I mean, I don't know, maybe it's a result of his mutation, but the dude looks like he's almost 40. I spoke too soon. Are those real or some kind of gag? Say, dig that crazy paperweight. Don't make a move, stranger. I've got to sketch those feet. They should be immortalized on canvas. Wait till Bernard sees them. He'll write a new poem immediately. This could start a whole new cult. We'll call ourselves Barefoot Beats. It's just big feet, dude. This is psychotic. These people must be high out of their minds. Hail to the new leader, King of the Barefoot Beats. Free coffee for everybody. Those feet will put us on the map. What in the fuck is happening? That would be like if a guy with a big fucking head came into my cafe and I'm like, you know what? We're fucking Big Head Cafe. Lift this guy up. We're parading him around the streets. We're gonna be on the fucking map. Look at the size of this guy's head. Look at his head. We're gonna be famous. This makes no goddamn sense. I don't care what time period you in. These people must all be on fucking acid. I appreciate these accolades, but I think you're all totally bereft of sanity. Yeah, thank you, Beast. Not only does he have the world's greatest feet, but he talks too. I think my jaw just snapped out of like, just, what is happening? It looks as though your broad-shouldered buddy had made it a hit with the crowd, Bobby. That's right, Zelda. And while everybody's marching around, I'd like a few words with you, pretty girl. You know, if you twist my arm, I think I could learn to like you. I seriously doubt that. Then how come I hardly ever see you in here? Okay, I'm gonna do some more gay Bobby retcon. He hardly ever goes here, but he needed to be seen hidden on a girl in front of his friends to keep him in deep cover, if you know what I mean. That's the story arc I'm building for Bobby. Deep in the closet. It's not my fault, Zelda. I'm a real busy guy. And you're gonna be a lot busier, Romeo. Scott wants to see us on the double. Wait, Bobby, who's he? Going? Who's Scott? Didn't you know? He's a superpowered mutant. Oh well, ask a silly question. These plaid suits are absolutely horrid looking, by the way. That is an ugly fucking suit at any point in history. That is an ugly suit. Hank? Let's go, Hank. It's a red alert. Get with it, fella. Warren, you're like mana from heaven to me. I thought I was inexorably trapped here. What'd you say? I said goodbye. That wasn't too wise, Hank. Someone might suspect your secret identity after a stunt like that. Not in that place, Angel. Those far-out characters wouldn't be inclined to suspect anything unless it were normal. Making a lot of assumptions there about a group of people that worship your feet. And as the X-Men prepare to muster their forces for battle, Magneto and his mutants also make last-minute preparations. This factory belongs to me. I have kept it for just a time as this. Now that we are ready, we shall issue our challenge to the X-Men. Yeah, I don't even need all of you. I can handle all those overrated weaklings by myself. Don't be a fool. They've beaten all of us in the past. Me, I want all the help I can get. And as the amazing teenagers reach their headquarters... Into your costumes, quick! The Blob has his memory back. Anything can happen now. The Blob? Has he joined forces with Magneto? No time for talk now, move! That was a yes or no question. Like, the time that you said that, you could have said, whatever, okay, bye. Technically, he shouldn't even know that answer. But I digress. What's detaining you two? Relax, Hank, we're almost ready. My blamed wing straps just got stuck. There, that does it, Angel. Now stand back, guys. I'm going to freeze up fast. Whoops, too fast. My shirt and shoes and socks froze up too. And all cracked clean off. I guess his underwear is an exception, according to the picture. Gosh, and Zelda always liked that old shirt. No, that whole suit should have been destroyed. Come on, you two. Let's not keep Scott waiting. Hurry up, P. McCoy. You've got your nerve running ahead of me like that. Didn't you ever hear of ladies first? But of course, Jean, my sweet. In the same place that I heard time and tide wait for no man. Well, it seems that even the scholarly beast has to be taught some manners now and then. To paraphrase an old cliché, never underestimate the telekinetic power of a woman. This is fucked up. This would be like if firefighters were like pushing each other out of the way after getting their protective gear on the way to the fucking fire truck. I'm just saying, like, people could be dying right now. X-Men, I intend to put the entire city under my control. Oh, wait, no, that's Magneto. X-Men, I intend to put the entire city under my control. I challenge you to stop me. You can find me waiting at the following address. Move it. All of you. Magneto's contacting us. This is it. And a short time later... They've come. It's the X-helicopter. It's the X-Men's helicopter. I'll crush the fools like fleas. You'll do nothing except what I order you to. Right now, you will remain standing there to serve as bait for my trap. Look, Scott, it's the Blob. Let's go and annihilate him. No, it's too quiet. I don't like it. Let's hover here for a moment until we can spot the others. I don't mean to be a party pooper, but couldn't Magneto just crush this whole helicopter right now? Oh, there we go. So, they're employing caution, are they? Well, the patience of Magneto is wearing too thin to wait. I'll bring them down. Look out! The ship is falling apart! I've got to fly clear and then catch as many as I can before they fall. You can't save all of us, Angel. I have a better idea. I must admit to being temporarily devoid of any suggestions. Help I'm falling! Moving with a breathtaking speed, Iceman creates a quick frozen ice slide large enough to break their fall. Happy landing, kids. Bobby, you saved us. Good work, Bobby. Now that the others are okay, I'll just grab this falling rotor blade and wrap it around the Blob's ugly head. Stay where you are, diapers. I'll be right with you. So, Angel is strong as hell then. I mean, I guess you have to be if you're like using actual fucking wings to fly and hover. You would need some pretty good back muscles, I imagine. So super strength too? I know down the line he gains the ability to heal people. I forget if it's like with his blood or something. I don't remember. But the powerful blade snaps to shreds at the first impact against the Blob's uncanny flesh. They always find a way to use that word. It's no surprise they called it the Uncanny X-Men at some point. A lot of good that pith will do, of tin will do you. You're fighting the Blob now, the one enemy you can ever beat. There's no one the X-Men can't beat, mister, and don't you forget it. We proved that once the last time we met. Sure, but you had the Professor X's brain to help you, now that he isn't here, and once I get my hands on something, nothing can pry them loose. Are you aware that you talk almost as much as I, Blob, although your vocabulary is neither as varied nor as rudicates? That look on his face is so blank. Like, he's barely even there right now. Like, he's out of his body. Whip! Can't forget the sound effects. The beast attack would have bowled over a hippo, but the Blob took it. Now he's got them both. Perhaps I can make him release them by raising him telekinetically. I warned you, nothing can break my grip. Nothing. Not even the weak attempts of Marvel Girl. It's useless. His feet stick to the ground, pulling it up with him. I can't raise him any higher. So, wouldn't that imply that his powers either have some kind of, like, gravitational element to it? Like maybe the surface he connects to, like, not only does gravity force him down further, but perhaps gravity also uplifts materials, having this perfect collision of gravity that keep him exactly in the middle, and anything he's standing on. But we've also seen in the past too, like, they've been able to break the floor underneath him, so I'm not sure. Like, couldn't she just go deeper underneath him? I don't know. A lot of questions there. Getting a lot of questions for myself this issue. Jean, you shouldn't have strained yourself against impossible odds like that. Leave him to me now. Only my power beam can beat him. Boy, you've got one qualification for group leader, Scotty. You've sure... Oh, wait. Boy, you've got one qualification for group leader, Scotty. You've sure got confidence. But the evil Magneto chooses that very instant to launch his previously prepared attack. Everything is perfect. They've been decoyed right into position. Now I'll magnetically release my waiting torpedoes. Cyclops, they've launched torpedoes at us. Quick, you've got to destroy them with your power beam. I can't, Bobby. If my beam hits them, they'll detonate, finishing us all. There's only one thing to do. Create a curved ice tube quick, the way you've done in practice sessions. I read you, leader man. Why didn't I think of this? But if he's controlling them magnetically, wouldn't it just break straight through that tube? Or I guess maybe he just launched him. He's not still controlling them. I don't know. Whoops. There's the one that got away, but I'll just put some ice wheels around it, like this. Now watch. Neat, huh? It just rolls away harmless. It just harmlessly Fuck. Neat, huh? It just rolls harmlessly away. Bobby, look out behind you! Moving with the speed of thought, the dynamic Cyclops blasts a hole underneath Iceman's feet, deep enough for Bobby to drop below the path of the deadly missiles. Hoo-wah! Duck, kid, duck! They're too fast, too clever for my torpedoes, but if I can get them within reach of you, Blob... I told you I could handle them. Just get them over to me and let my hands on them all. But, unlike the Blob, the quick-thinking beast has his wits to rely on, as well as his strength. I'll concede your superiority in an arm wrestling match, but let's see how you cope with some sudden mud in your eye. Taken unawares, the slow-witted Blob releases his unbreakable grip as he follows the natural impulse to rub his eyes. Can't see you. Got to get the mud out of my eyes. But instead of racing out of reach of the Blob, the beast once more makes an unexpected move while his gargantuan opponent is still off balance. Eureka! I thought this maneuver would succeed. Whoop! Even you can't maintain your stance when dealt a blow which you haven't prepared yourself for. Blast the luck! Those X-Men never seem to know when they're beaten. I'll shield myself from the Angel with a flying torpedo barrier. That seems like it could easily backfire there, Magneto. Like, what's the best case scenario if they attack you? They hit the torpedo, it detonates, the other torpedoes detonate. Not smart. Smart plan. Nice try, Magneto. This maneuver might stop any ordinary flying foe of yours, but don't forget that the Angel has been trained to dodge targets which move even faster than these. You careless fool! You flew too low! Get him, Quicksilver! Huh. Wow, a punch from him is like being kicked by a maladjusted mule. Quicksilver is so fast that none of us can stop him. Oh wait, no, that's Jean. Quicksilver is so fast that none of us can stop him. Perhaps, but I can certainly keep him on the run with bolts from my power beam. Heads up, Beast. I'll try to drive him into your arms. He's still too fast. He can turn on a dime. But here, I can hold him spinning in the air telekinetically. Hurry, someone get under him and catch him. Let me do it, Cyclops. I'm a frustrated big leaguer from way back. My brother is trapped. I've got to free him with my hex power. No, you little fool. Don't distract them. I want them gathered in one group like that. But Magneto's command comes too late. Hit with the Scarlet Witch's hex power, the Beast and Cyclops cannot stop themselves from colliding into each other. Thump! Oh! I'm free. Nothing will ever catch me now. Then, the daring Iceman, trying his own strategy for restraining the powerful Blob, sees the lightning-swift Quicksilver approaching. There, Chubbins, that ought to hold you for a while, at least till I can slow down old Crazy Legs there. But so unimaginably swift is Quicksilver that even all the combined efforts of all the X-Men are not enough to capture the speeding mutant. Well done, Petro. I knew they could not catch you, my beloved brother. Fall in behind me now. The battle line is drawn. We're all together in a body, just as Magneto's mutants are. This is it, the final attack. Just say the word, Cyclops, and we'll make them think Waterloo was a social tea party. Hey, stop flapping those wings of yours, Angel. You're tickling my ears. But before another move can be made, the gargantuan Blob expands his enormous bulk until the block of ice which confined him shatters with a deafening roar. So they're saying that he got fatter? Like in the time span he was in an ice block? Like, does he have the power to bulk up? Oh, wait. Baroom! You have used every power you possess against me and failed. It's my turn, but with this one difference, the Blob shall not fail. Wait, don't make me blast you with my power beam. Stop, we've no reason to fight. Why should you serve Magneto? He's only using you. He's not stopping, Scott. At last, they're all in one group. Now my torpedoes can finish them all off. But the Blob, he's there with them too. That's his hard luck. He served his purpose. No, you can't, you mustn't. Why do they give a shit about the Blob? I guess maybe because it could be them. It almost was. Look out! Oh wait, no, she says it. Look out! I'll shield you, Jean. Quick, behind the Blob, all of you! Magneto! No, don't stop! Ugh. Seconds later. It's almost incomprehensible. He took the full blast of 3 torpedoes and was merely knocked off his feet. It's ironic. One of our most deadly enemies shielded us from a fatal blast. And all he is red-faced for it. He's even got his pants, well, diaper. While his own ally was willing to let him die without a second thought. Stay back, Gene. There's no telling what he'll do next. I had everything figured out perfectly, but the blob spoiled my plan. He was in the way. Again, I failed. Magneto, I know you saved my life once, and because of that I owe you my allegiance, but I can't take any more of this senseless carnage. I can't. Easy, Wanda. Do not lose control. We shall talk of this later. Realizing he is in danger of weakening the hold he has over his mutant band, Magneto makes a sudden gesture, and one of the most unique vehicles on the Earth appears. The Magneto-mobile! Quick! Quick! Into the car! Into the Magna car! Oh my god, I was just kidding! Quick! Into the Magna car, all of you! This day has not been a total loss, for I have learned one thing. Professor X was not with them today, not even mentally, else I would have sensed his brainwaves. That means the X-Men fight alone now. Therefore, I shall plan my strategy differently for our next battle. That was you treating him like that he was there? What if he was there? He could have easily mind-fucked any of them. Unless they're not, like, explaining something. I'm just saying, Magneto took no special measures to protect his teammates. Like, Professor X could have easily just told the Blob, like, yeah, Magneto's Hitler, go kill him. You know? Like, whatever. Cyclops, they are getting away. Not this time. I'll blast them to the ground. Wait, the Scarlet Witch, she's also aboard. You're right, and her brother Quicksilver. Somehow, I can't bring myself to believe that they are as evil as the others. Well, Pudgy, it looks as if your pals ran out on you, huh? Pals? The Blob has no pals. I realize that now. Why don't you join us? We've no need to be enemies. You could receive X-Men Man training, and perhaps in time, if you qualify. No, I'm through with mutants. Through with fighting other people's fights. I'll never trust anyone again. I seem to remember something the professor said once long ago. There are good mutants, and there are bad mutants. And there are also some who hate being mutants. Some who turn away from their great responsibility their power imposes on them. I've no hate in me. I've no hate left in me. I'm just weary. I'm going back to the only place I belong, to the Carney. I've lived a sideshow freak, and that's how I'll die. Ridiculous as it may seem, I almost find myself pitying that tragic human behemoth. This is extra sad too, knowing that, like, his time on Krakoa was like a really good thing for him, from like what I could tell. Like, he was basically like just a bartender, you know? He was put in a position where I felt like he could make friends and start trusting people. And I'm not saying he became a good guy or anything, but you know, he screams of someone that's just dying to be normal, you know? But I don't think he can ever get past what he is. Now, whether that translates into self-hatred or just disliking the glass ceiling that's presented before him, I don't know. But, yeah, there's a little more to him than meets the eye. I sure hope he never changes his mind. I wouldn't have to fight him again. Scratch one whirly bird, X-Men. This wreckage is beyond repair. Well, I guess we'll have to phone for a taxi. Oh, I haven't had any change in my pockets. In fact, no pockets. Know something? We're gonna feel like nuts walking home through the streets like this. Have no fear, Angel's here. I'll fly ahead and hail a taxi for us. While you're at it, borrow the fare. Your group leader's broke. The end. And so another X-Men adventure becomes history, but will we see more of Magneto's evil mutants? Will we see danger and surprises? Or no, will we see new danger and surprises? Will we? Are you kidding? Now all to you happy Homo sapiens, so long till next-ish. Alright. I thought that was kind of interesting. It's very blob-centric. It almost kind of has it's almost kind of an inverse of issue 3. I think it was issue 3 the blob was introduced, where, you know, the X-Men are recruiting him. It kind of starts off okay and then takes a hard left turn. But instead of the left turn being, you know, the blob turning on the team trying to recruit him, it's the other way around. I mean, really, it's just Magneto being a dick. Like, everybody else is like, bro, come on. Like, can you not? Can we, like, not kill our teammates? It's not, I don't even think it was necessarily, like, concern. It was just, like, a base, like, we probably shouldn't TK, you know? I don't know. So, it's interesting. And I would like to say, it gives the blob more to think about, like, you know, this is what happens when you try to run with people that are assholes versus people that, you know, on its face at least want to do good. But at the end of the day, I don't think his pride could allow him to ever join the X-Men as he is now. I think unless he's on top, he's either on top or he's a freak. Like, there's no middle ground for him. I think if they said, hey, Blob, you're so great, can you please be the leader of the X-Men? He probably would have joined. Nobody would have liked it, but he might have joined, you know? So let's see. For supporting characters, Zelda and Bernard the Poet. I'd be shocked if these guys have any other appearances. I take it all back. Looks like Zelda's got some longevity here. What about Bernard the Poet? Holy shit, he does too. And he's a mutant? Huh. Too bad I spoiled that for myself. So that little cafe, it's like it's gonna, at least the characters in it might have some returns. Sam Hill invoked. Alright, let's see. Any cool trivia or notes? This issue marks the original X-Men's graduation from the school and first appearance of Cerebro. Professor X claims that he channeled the talent which his X-Men had already had into correct direction. He does not claim credit for creating the talent. I don't understand the trivia on this sometime. Like, that's just something that happened in the story. That's like saying the Blob said he didn't want to join and then creating that as trivia. I don't know. Just doesn't seem like quality trivia. To me, like something like, oh, they retcon the Blob into having herpes, and that's why he didn't want to join. You know what I mean? That would be better trivia to me. Professor X has prepared diplomas for the X-Men, asserting they completed their normal prep school curriculum. Again, that's just a thing that happened in the story. Cyclops expressed interest in finding a medical cure for his powers, the first mention of a mutant cure. See, I think that's good enough. The idea of a mutant cure being first mentioned in this. I see that's good enough trivia. Not that much quality. Alright, so there we have it. Blob returns. now, here, let's take a look at the cover here before we take our little break. The X-Men. Never have the X-Men fought a foe as unstoppable as... I want to say anus, but there's no A. Unus. Unus? Unus? Anus? Unus? Unus. As unstoppable as Unus. Never have the X-Men came so close to being split up, and never have you read such a boastful blurb. The uncanny threat of Unus. The untouchable. Alright. Not a villain I readily recognize. Not a character, period. I'm not even sure if he's a real villain. Yet. Could be like a Namor situation. Alright, so let's change the music up here, because it's starting to bore me. There we go. A little more X-Man sounding. Alright, and as per our deal, I do a comic, I get a dab. Comic, dab. Maybe 2 dabs. We'll see what I can get away with. This next one, wow, so they didn't really put out a lot of issues per year, because we're already in September, and on issue 8. Ooh, that must have been excruciating. I thought it sucked to wait like week by week, month by month for shows and stuff, but man, only getting like a handful of comics a year, that's like berserk level of waiting. Granted, you know, the technology back then, the methodologies. Now, it's not like comics were new when this was being released, but I imagine they were still very much refining the process in terms of, I mean, for fuck's sake, Stan Lee is still his own editor in this. So, I wonder how big the operation was at that point. Because, I mean, they already had Spider-Man out, Fantastic Four, probably a slew of others. Unus. I feel like I did see somebody, maybe it was Casually Comics or somebody like that did some kind of expose on the character. Because I do vaguely remember some more popular comic book YouTuber talking about him. To what relevance and to what end, I have no idea. Something tells me this isn't going to be in a movie anytime soon. I already saw Jean with her newer costume with the horns on the mask. Could have sworn I saw that She looks like she's wearing a regular mask now. Could just be the angles and whatever, but... Alright, so... September 1964, release date. Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, Chick Stone, Sam Rosen, Stan Lee. Same crew as last. Let's do it. Get a sip of water here. Soothe my scorched and taxed voice. Oh, look, I see someone in the chat. Sorry if I missed you earlier. Hey, JD. Oh, nice. Oh, man, I've been looking forward to that. I gotta check that one out. Oh, good. Yeah, I just watched Rob's, one of his videos. What was it on? Was it Batman? Daredevil. It was the Daredevil and Kingpin one. That's what I saw. Man, that trailer for the new Daredevil show. Ooh, I'm excited, man. That is looking good. Kingpin is giving me, like, competent Trump vibes. Like... I tell you, there couldn't be a more perfect time for this storyline. So, yeah, Comics Explained had some pretty good timing with the Daredevil trailer. Alright, so we're here into number 8. Here we go. The Uncanny Threat of Unis. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but I want to say anus, so it's got to be pronounced the same, right? Unis, anus. Unis the Untouchable. All right, there we go. Try that power glide again, Angel, concentrating on increased speed. The beast could have grabbed you if he wanted to. Although they have recently graduated after completing their prescribed course of training, the extraordinary X-Men still do postgraduate exercises under the watchful eye of Cyclops, their new interim leader. Was that? I thought that was... Oh no, that isn't Professor X, that's fucking Cyclops. Pretend I said that in Cyclops' voice. I'll just do it again. Let's not be lazy about this. Try that power glide again, Angel. Concentrating on increased speed. The beast could have grabbed you if he wanted to. Not me, Scotty. I was too preoccupied watching Jean threading those laces telekinetically. Sure, that's what you were looking at. Produced by Marvel's Fantastic Foursome. Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, Chick Stone, S. Rosen. Fuck you, colorist. So let's take a good look here. We got Angel zipping around doing a power glide maneuver. She's working on her fine precision, as is Beast with his balance. And to no one's surprise, Iceman's working the pole. Your speed was better that time, Warren, but you must always remember to watch out for any traps you may be flying into. Attaboy, Scotty. That'll knock off some of the conceit out of that human parakeet. Careful where you're waving that elongated ice pick, Bobby. Oh, come on, Scott, that's no fair. You've got all of Professor X's gadgets to use against us, and all we've got are our own powers. I've only got mutant powers, it's not fair. That's the purpose of this training, Warren. You can't cry foul if an unexpected weapon is used against you by Magneto or any other foe, can you? Ha, that's telling him, old psycho boy. What are you gloating about, Iceman? You're part of this training program too, young fella. Now quickly, defend yourself. Huh? What? Where? Hey, look out, don't! Is that what you would say to a sudden attack by the blob, Bobby? Hasn't the professor told you always be on guard? I was just about to use it. Now stand where you are and practice refining your ice crystals as I've suggested. Okay, Teach, watch this. Excellent. By increasing your degree of cold, your body becomes even more icy, making you almost transparent. You're becoming a regular Sue Storm, kiddo. Oh wait, no, that's Angel. You're becoming a regular Sue Storm, kiddo. Ah, shut up, Angel. Jean, Professor X would be proud of your progress in controlling your telekinetic power. Careful now. Let's see how quickly you can run the thread through a punchboard in a regular pattern. Exactly 6 seconds. That beats your previous time. Now let's get it down. Let's examine it. Except for one stitch which you dropped, it's flawless. You can rest now. If only I could tell her the words I really want to say. How gorgeous her lips are, how silken her hair is, how I love her, but I dare not. I haven't the right. Not when I'm supposed to be the leader. I can't listen to my own heart. I must be detached, unemotional. I'd better get back to my job. You were daydreaming, Hank. See how I took you by surprise? You didn't expect that. I didn't expect that of you. Couldn't see past my studio light. Nor did I expect such an uncalled for maneuver from you, Cyclops. I was under the impression our training period had been concluded. Our training can never be ended, and you know that, Hank. Our enemies get stronger each day, and we must always be able to match their own evil progress. You win, leader man, but if I didn't know you better, I'd fear that you're becoming drunk with power. Perhaps I have been working you all too hard. It's just that I want to be worthy of the confidence of Professor X has shown in me. Anyway, that's all for now. You can have the afternoon off. But what about you, Scott? Won't you join us? I'm afraid I can't, Jean. I still have more work to do. Oh, Scott, if you only felt... Oh, Scott, if you only felt about me as I do about you. But you don't. You just don't. Later on their free time period, we find the Beast and Iceman heading for a little Greenwich Village coffee shop. So this is going to be a reoccurring thing. Greenwich Village. So, I mean, it's only 2 comics, but the last one they made a point to make it seem like it was their regular hangout, so I'm gonna designate it as their regular hangout outside of the mansion. Who's he with there? That doesn't even look like anybody. I guess that's Bobby. Much as I like being an X-Man, I sure can't wait till each training period is over. My sentiments exactly, Bobby boy. But, turning a corner, the 2 young mutants suddenly see... Hank, look, what's going on? What's everyone so excited about? I don't know, but judging by the degree of their apprehension, I'd say... Wait, now I see it's up there. Look, Bobby. atop the water tower on the roof of that building. That bitch looks like That bitch looks like Clark Kent. I speak good. It's a little boy. He's trapped up there. He must have climbed up as a prank, but now he's frightened. He can't make it down, but he can't hold his grip forever. Perhaps I could reach him in time by running up the side of the building. Hank, if you do, you'll give away your identity away. The crowd will guess who you are. No time to worry about that, Bobby. Here goes. Look, do you see what I see? It isn't possible. It's possible, all right. For a mutant. You mean? Of course, it must be the Beast. What a shame that none of us had a chance to see his face. Reaching the top of the water tower in mere seconds, the powerful, soft-spoken beast gently soothes the terrified youth in front of him. Easy, easy, don't be frightened. I'll get you. Just reach out your hand. Slowly, slowly.
I'm afraid to open my eyes. I get dizzy when I do, but I'll reach out towards your voice.
Exactly 2 seconds later. You'll be all right now, youngster. Tommy, you're safe. Now I've got to move too fast for them to get a clear view of my features. Did you see how he raced up that building? Like a human gorilla.
I've heard there are many such mutants in hiding, waiting to take over the world.
Did you see how he ran past us? Like he was afraid of us. Like he knew he's our enemy. He probably just saved that kid to throw us off guard, to make us think mutants aren't dangerous. But he can't fool us. Come on, let's get him before he loses himself in the crowd. Man, they really do take all the shit Magneto puts down. But, fast as they are, angry as they are, the unthinking mob can't possibly keep pace with the superbly trained teenagers, who run past them at breathtaking speed. We can't stop them. Can't even see who they are, the way they have their faces covered. Minutes later. Hank, Bobby, what happened? I'm through, Scott. I've had it. A mob almost caught us. I'm through risking my life for humans. For the same humans who fear us, hate us, want to destroy us. I think Magneto and his evil mutants are right. Human sapiens aren't... Homo sapiens just aren't worth it. You're tired, Hank. All upset over what happened. You don't mean what you say. I'm in full possession of my faculties, Scott. I mean every word. I'm resigning from the X-Men. But, Hank, all your training, your work, you can't just toss it all aside. Can't I? Just watch me. From now on, I'll use my powers just to help one person. Henry Coy, yours truly. The human race can go fly a kite. Getting some Dark Beast vibes from this dude. Is Dark Beast still a head in a jar at Sinister's lab? I think that's the last time I saw him. But where will you go? What will you do? Don't worry about me, fella. I'll get along. If the human race is going to be my enemy, fine, but I'll make the rules for my next fight. Hank, keep in touch with us. Call if you need me. Take care of yourself, you big bag-tempered lug. Wow, he was pretty quick to let him go. Seconds later, as he soon finds himself alone once more, Cyclops activates his sensitive cerebro machine. I couldn't persuade Hank to remain. That means I failed as a leader. This is our most serious setback. I've got to contact Professor X. The loss of an X-Men is too important for me to try to handle alone. Slowly, the thought image of Professor Xavier is converted into a visual image on the glowing screen, and then I've made contact. Professor, this is Cyclops. Where are you, sir? I am in the heart of the Balkans in Europe, descending into an almost bottomless cave. That seems very dangerous. Like, is he by himself? Is that chair really good enough to go spelunking in? If he has a chair like that, why does he even use a regular wheelchair? I think he just likes being touched by his students. I'm just gonna say it. Then, after Cyclops has related the They must have meant relayed. Has related the situation? That's not right. I don't believe you. Then, after Cyclops has relayed the situation. Then, after Cyclops has relayed the situation through mental transmission. What do I do now, sir? Nothing. He will not join Magneto's evil mutants. You did all you could. Yeah, I believe that. I think that if Hank actually did leave forever, he probably would have just gone full scientist. But I don't know. If he still would have probably fucked himself up though, turning himself blue. If that origin is in play in the OG Uncanny X-Men. But what of your mission? I cannot turn back. I am on the trail of Lucifer. I shall tell you about it one day if I return. Farewell, Cyclops. Like Morningstar? Like Lucifer Morningstar? The devil? Or is this just like some mutant he's tracking down? I'm gonna assume it's a mutant and not like the literal fucking devil. Maybe. Who knows? I know at some point X-Men become like devils or something for a minute. And angels, I forget, but sounded dumb. Then, as Scott Summers tries to plan his next course of action... I'm leaving now. Oh wait, no, it's the Beast. I'm leaving now, Scott, and if you want my advice, you'll disband the X-Men. Humanity isn't worth the trouble. Hank! Looks like it's Warren saying that. Hank, you're not going to join Magneto. What I do concerns only me from now on. Goodbye. 1 week later, a new wrestling personality explodes on the TV screens. Throughout the nation, corny and colorful, he soon becomes a top draw wrestling villain, playing the heavy under the logical. Jesus Christ, that's a mouthful. 1 week later, a new wrestling personality explodes on the TV screens throughout the nation. Corny and colorful, he soon becomes a top draw wrestling villain, playing the heavy under the logical name of The Beast. So, he's just cashing out on his current intellectual property? Boo, Beast. Look at that big ham bone. Owners will make mincemeat out of him tonight. At the rate I'm going as a pro wrestler, I'll be a millionaire in a year. And as an acrobatic wrestler, I can hop around all I want to without anyone suspecting I'm a mutant. There he goes! Wow, look at him jump! So what? He won't be able to lay a hand on Unis. Ladies and gentlemen, the match you've been waiting for, the new ape-like sensation of the nation, the Beast, versus the great, the unbeatable, the untouchable champion of all time, Unis. I don't even know which one to cheer for. So that's Unis, huh? He looks like a formidable foe, but I'm no pushover myself. I'll rush him quickly and get it over with fast so he doesn't get hurt. That's not what the people pay for. But as the beast makes one of his powerhouse charges, I didn't see him move, and yet I'm being hurled back like a ping pong ball. You think a mere clumsy rush can affect me? It's incomprehensible. No matter how hard I swing, I can't make contact with him. And now that you see how hopeless your attempts are, What? I don't know how you manage that little parlor trick of yours, but I have a few little stunts too. I'll keep springing up to gain maximum momentum, then I'll drive down at him when he least expects it. Now! Not for nothing, but I am called Unis, the Untouchable. It just isn't possible, and yet it's really happening. Go on back where you came from, beast. Why don't you give up, you bum? Nobody can beat Unis. You haven't got a chance. Boo, where'd you ever learn to wrestle? There's more to Unis than these hysterical fans suspect. He possesses some sort of awesome power. It's taking you so long to climb back in the ring that the ref's counting you out. Unis will win again. That face in the audience, it has to be Mastermind, one of Magneto's evil mutants. So startled is the Beast at seeing one of his arch enemies that he delays his return into the ring again, thereby losing the match to Unis. But he has other things on his mind at the moment. Unis is looking straight at Mastermind. They seem to know each other. Of course, Unis must be a mutant too. His power is too strong, too unnatural for any other explanation. But if he joins Magneto's evil band, it's no concern of mine anymore. A short time later, after the match. Unis, I'm your trainer. You can tell me. How do you keep all those other guys from laying a hand on you? Shut up, Maxie, and beat it. I've got business to discuss. Well, Mastermind, what's Magneto's verdict? Can I join your group of mutants? Not so fast, Unis. Magneto's been disappointed before. He wants to make sure he can trust you. He's convinced that you're a real mutant and he feels you've got plenty on the ball. But he wants you to prove yourself. How? What can I do? Well, if you were to find the X-Men for us, for example, or even beat one of them. Later, as Unis thoughtfully walks through the street, of course I could beat one of the X-Men or all of them. Nothing can defeat me. But where do I find them? I've never even seen one in person. At that point, Fate herself steps in. Unis accidentally stumbles onto a big bank robbery which is in progress around the corner. Gunmen, robbing the bank. Come to think of it, I can put that money to better use than they can. Move before the place is swarming with cops. All we have to do is make it to the gateway car across the street. Goddamn. All we have to do is make it to the getaway car across the street. But the startled criminals are never destined to reach that waiting car. Not at least with any stolen money. I'll take that money bag. If Magneto doesn't allow me to join his brotherhood, at least this money will help launch me on my own career of conquest. Hey, look, Charlie, my bullets don't even touch him. They just go flying away. Don't you know who that is? It's Onis the Untouchable. And as the bullets miss the Uncanny Onis, they ricochet back from the nearby walls, causing the gunmen to flee for their lives. Let's get out of here before we're hit by one of our own shells. Why do the bullets continue to bounce off the walls? Are they rubber? Are they rubber bullets? Whatever. Like, ricochet does happen, but, like, I don't know about that. I don't know. Meanwhile, a powerful privately owned helicopter is rapidly approaching that same area. What makes you think there's a new mutant at large, Cyclops? Professor X's Cerebro machine detected his presence, and the readings seem to indicate this neighborhood. It just doesn't seem to be heading into a new adventure. Oh. It just doesn't seem the same to be heading into a new adventure without the Beast. We all feel the same way, Warren, but let's concentrate at the job at hand now. Look, something's going on down there. The bank's been robbed. You land the chopper, I'll glide down under my own power and look around. That big fella with the bag of money. He must be one of the robbers. Stay where you are, buddy. I want to talk to you. What a strange sense of luck. What a stroke of luck. Now I won't have to find you before I can polish you off. So you are one of the robbers. Well, I'll teach you not to make threats to an X-Man. Like how he's just slowly getting undressed. Strange, he doesn't seem the least bit worried. He's calmly folding his outer clothes. If I'm going to become one of Magneto's allies, I may as well do my fighting in a distinctive costume. Thus, as the other X-Men land their whirlybird, Angel is the first to receive a sample of Unis's fearsome power. Oof. The way Warren was hurled from that muscle man before he could touch him tells me all I need to know. We've found our mutant. Stay back, all of you. I'll tackle him with my power beam. This is useless. My energy blasts bounce away before hitting him, and they'll hit one of us if I don't stop. You seem to be the leader. You shall be my victim. I dodged his first blow, but I can't dodge forever. How do we beat a man who cannot be touched by enemy attack? If he joins Magneto, what will happen to the X-Men? If I can't use my power beam, perhaps my fists will... No, nothing seems to be able to touch him. Now you can see why I am called Unis the Untouchable. But unfortunately for you, I am able to touch whomever I choose.
Cyclops, I'll get him for you.
No, wait. Study him first. We need a plan. He's more dangerous than I expected. There. By the time you will land, the fight will be knocked out of you, and I'll take you to Magneto. Just as I feared, he does want to join Magneto's evil group. Marvel girl, plan G5, quickly. Good. A perfect telekinetic catch.
All our hours of training and practice certainly weren't wasted. What next, Cyclops?
Kid stuff, you haven't a chance. First, put me down near Unis. Good. And now Iceman, try maneuver F12. Quick freeze intensity.
We haven't,
Just wait till this instant igloo. Oh my god, my speaking powers are malfunctioning. We haven't, eh? Just wait till this instant igloo forms around you, you loudmouth. You're not tackling amateurs, bub. Is there nothing you freaks can't do? When you tackle one X-Man, you tackle all of us, and don't you forget it. No teenage brat of a mutant can talk to Unis that way. It'll take more than an icy cage to hold me. Then, moving like the powerful, trained athlete he is, the Uncanny Unis shatters the still hardening ice enclosure before it can freeze to its full strength. I don't have to depend on my mutant powers alone. I didn't spend years in the ring for nothing.
Too bad. He's almost as strong as the Beast.
Then, before the startled Iceman can regather his energy for another attack. And now I'll shatter you like a pane of window glass. So this is the first time where you get to see Bobby in his full ice form. He's still pretty rough around the edges. Like, it's almost like it's a pretty good contrast to what he's normally depicted as now, where he's like nice and smooth. It's like the difference between a truck and a car, like a sports car. Like, he's almost kind of primitive, like someone learning how to ice sculpt, you know? Very hard edges, very flat. I like it. I like the evolution Bobby goes through from basically a goddamn snowman to, I mean, shit, he almost looks like Silver Surfer sometimes. What odds will you give, Musclebound? Oh wait, no, that's Warren. What odds will you give, Musclebound? Another one, eh? It doesn't matter to me. Any one of you will do. Your only power is in your wings, and they can't do any good against a break-proof wrestling hold. Can't land a blow. Have to try something else. Suddenly, the great beating wings spread out, and both mutants soar into the sky above. Anyone can wrestle Unis, but here's a little flying lesson for you. You can't hang on forever. We'll see how good your power does when you fall. You can't bluff me. You're not murderers, and I know it. I don't think that's been established, buddy. I don't think nobody's died, but I don't think they've necessarily said we're not going to kill anyone either. It's more of like, well, if I can, I don't know. I guess the way they exist now, I kind of get. Like, if somebody has to die, so be it, but, you know, we're gonna try. So, I'm curious when that perception evaporates. Probably when genocide happens. I was afraid our pledge would never cause harm with our powers would one day work against us. Okay, whatever. Okay, maybe I can't. Maybe I can't let you be harmed, but I'll sure stop you from hurting anyone else. You can stay up there for a while to cool off, and I may not be so charitable next time. Nice going, Warren. We stopped him from now, but what happens if he menaces us again? Next time, he'll be too smart to grab you, Angel. His power certainly is a strange one. Although he can be touched, it seems that any weapon or blow thrown for the purpose of injuring him is automatically deflected in some way. If he ever joins Magneto, how would we fight him? Nothing more we can do now. Let's head back to HQ and think this out. Man, I suppose the easiest way would be to, like, toss a net on him, I guess? Put a cage around him? I don't know. And so, even if the beast hadn't quit, his strength couldn't help us. He'd be unable to land one blow. Hold it. There's someone in the lab. It's the beast. Hank, what are you doing back here? Does this mean... It probably means I'm a king-sized, addle-padded glutton for punishment. But since I'm apparently the only one with the technical skill and intellectual capacity to devise a counter-weapon to Unis's power, it behooves me to save you from a possible ignominious defeat. What type of weapon is that? The only kind that can achieve your objective, a ray to increase Unis's power. To increase his power? Have you gone mad? Hold it. Hold it, beast. I don't know what your game is, but you better have a mighty good explanation. He must have already joined Magneto. We can't let him leave with that ray. Even though he quit, I never thought Hank would really turn against us like this. Drop that ray. Drop that ray, McCoy. I said drop it. Cyclops, don't. You don't know what you're doing. I must do this for your own good. And in the next split second, the beast lives up to his name by moving with the speed and agility of a jungle cat. Cyclops, why didn't you stop him? I just couldn't. I just couldn't bring myself to hit him with my power beam. But we've got to go after him. It's like, get back here. It's like when your fucking cat or dog runs out of the house. Unis must be back at the gym by now. That's probably the beast destination. Let's move. Hang on, Jean. I'll take you with us like this. It's the fastest way. And I get a little underboob action. Be careful not to slip on my icy path, Scotty. Minutes later. Look, Mastermind, tell Magneto to give me another chance. I almost had him licked. They won't escape me the next time. There won't be a next time for you, Unis. Not for you. Another X-Man? No matter who you are, I'll... You talk too much, Muscle Man. Perhaps this will silence you. You fool, that didn't affect me. Wait, it did. I can feel it. You made me stronger than ever. My power has been increased. I didn't realize. You must be on my side. Magneto must have sent you. Think what you want, Unis. And now let's put your new power to the test. I was right. I'm more untouchable than ever. Look how fast that thing bounced away from me. We're too late. He used his ray. Oh no, how could he? It was easy, Marvel Girl. I couldn't permit you to stop me. Cyclops, what's our next move? Nothing yet. Stay back. See what Unis tries to do. I'll restrain them, Unis. You experiment with your new power, then we'll be back. He'll make a good member for Magneto too. Anyone who'd betray his own team by helping the enemy. Then the shocked X-Men leave the gym. Cyclops, let someone else handle Hank. I can't get myself to do it. Wasn't it enough to desert us? Did you have to betray us as well? I did it for your own sake, Scott. You'll see. Take your hand off me. Later, back inside the gym, Unis crows in triumph. Wait till Magneto hears that one of the X-Men was so frightened of me that he increased my power in order to become my ally. He'll have to let me join his mutant band after that. Now, not only are menacing blows and weapons unable to touch me, but I can make anything spin away from me by merely getting near it. I'm completely untouchable. I'm the most invulnerable man alive. Nothing can touch me. Therefore, nothing can harm me. I'll grab a cigarette while I call Mastermind and tell him Hey, I can't touch the blam thing. It keeps moving away from me. Blast it. No blamed cigarette is going to stop me from smoking it. I'll throw myself on top of the table and grab it before I can... Wait! It missed it again. So... I'm curious, how I'm supposed to take his power, because the table doesn't move. He doesn't put holes through walls. His clothes are still on. Maybe it's only affecting items that he wants or doesn't want? I don't know. Seems awfully arbitrary what it's affecting right now. This is crazy. Oh, okay. There we go. Okay, so I'm judging it too quickly. No, even the table is shoving itself away from me. Oops. I want some different music here now that I'm toying with it. But what? What's going on here? What's happening to me? What good is a new power if I can't control it? Dazed, confused, the angry mutant walks into the street as every object he passes recoils, as though it has a will of its own. Out of my way, you fools. I'm invulnerable, can't you see? I'm untouchable. Yeah, but so what? Finally, the pangs of hunger begin to gnaw at him, and so... Give me a steak, and make it fast, understand? Sure, big fella. I got one right here. I was gonna give it to someone else, but he's not as big as you. What? It flew right out of the plate. Then give me another. I'm hungry, do you hear? Hungry. Cyclops, you better contact Professor X. He'll know what to do with the beast. No, Bobby, I won't disturb him yet. The beast can do nothing more while he's with us. I'll have another plan to try now. Are you ready, Warren? It's too late to do anything now. Just wait, you'll see. Ready, Sunk. Perfect. If all else fails, we'll drop a plastic bubble like this over Unis. He won't be able to touch it. It will move with him. It will be a form of portable prison. That is actually kind of a good idea. I mean, he'll suffocate, but... Because wouldn't he be like... Well, he doesn't like levitate off the ground, like his power isn't repelling him from off the ground. Either that or he's pushing the earth so hard he's moving it inches at a time. I don't know. There's a lot of problems with powers like this because they're so just ill-defined. Get the phone, Gene. It must be Iceman. I sent him to the city to keep watch on Unis. I hope Bobby didn't get into any trouble if Unis should catch him alone. Bobby is a full-fledged graduate X-Men now. He can handle himself. What does he say? Oh wait, no, that's Warren. What does he say? He wants us to come to the corner of Broadway and 46th Street, on the double. Exactly 10 seconds later. Don't make any sudden moves, Beast. We're all watching you. I applaud your good judgment. You couldn't have selected a lovelier specimen for observation. Finally, where's Iceman? Oh, there he is. He's incognito. Naturally, I didn't want Unis to know he was being followed. He's all yours, Psych. Right inside. Ah, just as I had anticipated. I've got to have some food. I'm starving. There must be a way. I must eat. I must. The only thing that'll save you is another blast from my ray gun, Unis. But first, there are a few conditions. Anything. I'll do anything you say. I'll make any promise. Very well. This will nullify the effects of the last shot. You'll be as you were before. Cyclops, he's using that blamed ray again. It's all right. He knows what he's doing. I'm saved. I can touch things again. I can eat. But remember this, Unis. We're keeping our little ray gun. Anytime we hear that you've gotten out of line, or you've tried to contact Magneto, you'll get another treatment. And next time, we'll throw the antidote away. Don't worry, you guys. There won't be a next time. I've had it. I guess I was never cut out to be a famous superpower costumed adventurer. I'm going back to the wrestling ring where I belong. And I'm back where I belong too, with the X-Men. Thanks for not blasting me till I could do what had to be done, Scott. Deep down, I never really lost faith in you, Hank. That makes you the leader that you are. Or that's what makes you the leader you are. And so, the astonishing X-Men are together again, little dreaming that their next battle will not be against a mutant menace, but something still mightier, still more dangerous. The end. Oh, that was the shortest issue yet. 20 pages. Ooh, because you get a special pinup of the Beast. I think the last pinup we got, I think, was Cyclops. An X-Men extra. Special pinup page, the Beast. Indubitably yours, Hank McCoy. I don't know why he's like juggling stuff. Kind of funny. Alright, there you have it. Issue number 8. So, that was kind of it's a good, like, one-and-done story. Nice and self-contained. For the most part. Like, if it was the first comic you saw, you would probably get enough to know that there's an evil group of mutants out there. They're recruiting, and they're trying to be a counter to that force. So, I'd say it's not a bad self-contained story. Oh, I just use it to reference, to talk about when it was released, to see if there's any interesting trivia. Some of this stuff, I just like to see like whose first appearance it was. Little things like that. It's like, yeah, this was the first time Susan Storm was mentioned, outside of Namor. So this, almost like a second crossover, you could argue. It's recognizing the larger world. Alright, let's check out some notes and trivia. Yeah, the Beast leaves to become a wrestler and names himself the Beast. Not exactly the most undercover thing he could have moved on to. Hey, bravo! How you do, buddy? Cyclops calls Angel Bobby mistakenly. Lucifer is mentioned. He's seen next time. Issue contains the very first assault of humans on mutants in the original run of the series. Oof, still doing some Marvel Rivals. I haven't been able to go back to it for a few days. People take that game way too seriously. Yeah, so this was the very first issue where we see, like, the average Joe's perception of mutants, I guess. Like, because it doesn't get any more... Like, he was literally saving a child. You know what I mean? It's, you know, they went after the Beast for saving a child. Psychotic. Hell yeah, I've been doing it for most of the week so far. I'm having fun doing it. Looks like this next issue, we get The Mighty Avengers. Let's take a look at that cover before I treat myself. You know the deal. Here's the deal. We do a little education. We read when it was released, who done it, and admire the cover. Then I do a dab, and then I try really hard to do voice acting. That's what we're up to. So this next issue, The X-Men, another truly marvelous star-studded epic. See the desperate X-Men trapped in the heart of Europe, guest starring the Mighty Avengers. Don't miss the return of Professor X, and wait till you meet Lucifer. Alright, so not the Lucifer, just some freak named Lucifer. And let's take a look at the roster here for the Avengers. We got, it's a 4-on-5 fight, so it's not exactly fair. Got Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, and Giant Man. So, yeah, that could be a pretty good fight, I think. I don't know why they would fight. That's like the crutch of every freaking comic book team-up. First we fight, then we work together. But, you know what? It's like wrestling. You live for the conflict. Alright, so let's do a day-up. Day-up. And you know what? Let's find some different music while we're at it. Let's see, what do we got here? We got some Demon Dabs, Sugar Waps, Sugar Waps, Sugar Wax. Oh boy, Demon Dabs. Oh, they actually have a serving size. Neat. Yeah, I gotta get a little silly today. I'm being a little naughty today. I'm having some beer too as well, because I have some lying around. Acting juice, you could say. You know what? I'm gonna mix some together. Nice stalker music. It's actually a remix of the Escape from New York main theme. I love those movies, Escape from New York and Escape from LA, with what's his name? Kurt Russell. I could watch those movies any day of the week. I don't care how stupid they are. Even the guy that made Metal Gear Solid loves those movies. And that character's a straight up ripoff of Solid Snake. I love it. It's just absolutely shameless. So yeah, this is actually a remix of the main theme from Escape from New York. If you like dumb action movies that just like turn off your brain, like, you know, the way I put some of these action movies, like it's almost like John Wick. Like, sometimes you just need a hero to come in, do a fucking spin kick, and save the day. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just need life to be that simple. Doesn't have to make sense. Show me the bad guy. Kill everybody in the middle, and do a spin kick and save the day. Or whatever. Yeah, I miss getting movies like Arnold, Van Damme, fucking Kurt Russell. What's his face can go fuck himself. Steven Seagal, he can eat a giant mound of garbage. But yeah, I miss some of those older action movies where, I don't know, it was just fun. Like, as ironic as it is, because we've gotten like, what, 60 Untouchable movies? Or the one with fucking Rocky, you know, his little ensemble movie. Like, even with those movies out, I feel like John Wick is closer to some of those older action movies than those movies that star entire teams of actors that were those movies. I don't know what happened. It's called The Untouchables, right? Unbreakables? No. No, not Unstoppables. I could easily look it up, but I like to rely on my limited brain power and the organic knowledge of my collective community. Some pretty different things happening in this comic, just looking at the cover. Like, you go from the X-Men versus the Avengers, and like, and by the way, we got Professor X and a guy named Lucifer. You might want to check that out too. Man, that shatter is rough. But it will get you stoned. Yeah, out of all the concentrates I've ever had, this shatter burns the most like a plant. Like it tastes like I'm burning actual marijuana leaves. I don't like it, but I like what it does to me. Alright, let's get into it. I don't like the taste, but the after effects are amazing. X-Men, the most unusual teenagers of all time. Enter the Avengers, featuring the earth-shattering threat of Lucifer. Whatever you want in a super epic, this one's got it. Oof, let me get a drink here. So, what am I looking at here? I'm gonna guess that guy is Lucifer in the middle, even though he looks dramatically different. Oh no, it is a 5-on fight. 5-on-5. A 5 versus 5 fight. I didn't see the Wasp there. Was she even on the cover? Yeah, if she's on the cover, I don't see her. I wouldn't be surprised if she got covered up here or something. Fuck you, Wasp. The Mighty Marvel does it again. Oh yeah, we forgot to do our little knowledge dump real quick. Was released November 3rd, 1964, so it's probably the last comic for the year, I imagine, because I want to say the third issue started in the beginning of the year. And the issue before this was September. So I don't know, unless they did quick work, I doubt they're going to release one in December. So, it took a long time to get these produced. I mean, by my standards. I don't really know anything about the comic book industry, so maybe that's incredibly quick. I wouldn't know. Alright. Oh, yeah. Stan Lee, writer, pencil. Jack Kirby, inker. Chick Stone, letterer. Sam Rosen, editor. Stan Lee. So, same crew. Pretty consistent crew throughout working on these. I think the only thing that's changed is maybe the letterer throughout all this. Maybe the inker. Maybe, too. Alright, so anyone want to take a guess at what the hell he's holding there in the middle? If I'm being lazy, maybe a nuke, I guess. Professor X is deep underground, according to the last comic. So I'm guessing he's gonna like blow up the Earth's core and chaos. Guys, anyone that calls themselves Lucifer is probably gonna be an asshole. So that's all I know. That's all I can gather from this. Our startling saga begins in the North Atlantic as a dangerous iceberg suddenly drifts into the path of a speeding superliner. There's the sun at last. I thought that fog would never lift. Look straight ahead of us. What's that? Reverse engines. Iceberg directly ahead. Too late. We can't stop in time. Sound the alarm. Prepare for collision. But then, seconds before the fatal impact, a blinding, shattering, mysterious twin beam shoots out, blasting the mighty iceberg into harmless fragments. What in the name of creation was that? Whatever it was, it destroyed the iceberg, the ship, and our passengers are safe. And of all the hundreds on board, only a handful know what really saved the majestic liner. A handful of the most unusual teenagers of all time. Oh, it's Warren. Okay. Scott, it was you who blasted that iceberg, and had to be, but what's wrong? Too big a strain, weak, everything's spinning around. Help me, Warren, help me. Easy, Scotty. I'll get you to your stateroom in 2 shakes. Look at that young man, Matilda. He should have taken seasick pills. I declare this younger generation isn't as hardy as we were, Samuel. Jesus. It's almost like every fucking generation since the conception of language talks like this. This is exactly why anytime I hear any of this generation don't know how to, this generation is too, you know what I mean? Like my brain starts to clock out, because it doesn't matter what time period you're in, doesn't matter what dimension, what timeline, like stupid people will say this shit all throughout time. This generation just don't. I don't know why, but it pisses me off. I'm not even of any generation. I'm just, the idea that you can define an entire generation by your stupid, limited, pinhole perception is just arrogant at best. I hate it. Moments later, it's lucky for me that everyone was at the railing looking out to sea, so they didn't notice who transmitted the power beam, Bobby. Yeah, right, Scotty. There'd be a panic on board if folks knew the X-Men were among them. Here, I'll whip up some ice cubes for you, leader man. Don't bother getting an ice pack, Bobby. I'll cool Scott's brow with them telekinetically. Oh, Scott, my heart just breaks when I see you so pale, so shaken. If only I could comfort you with my arms, my lips. But I know I mustn't. As our acting leader, you've no time for thoughts of romance. Thanks, Jean. That's just what I needed. Man, she's horny. If only we were ordinary humans, free to follow the urgings of our heart, but I mustn't allow myself such hopeless dreams. They are teenagers. It's easy to take that for granted. We'll be docking in Europe soon, Scotty. Feel well enough to get into uniform? Sure, I'll be fine, Angel. I just want to rest for a few minutes more. Using a full-intensity power blast really knocks me out. My mouth is as dry as a blotter. I'll remedy that, Brother Cyclops. One iced tea coming up. Thanks, Hank. And I know you're wondering why I ordered this trip. Professor X contacted me last week. He said there was a mission for us in Europe. In fact, I expect further details from him any minute. Jesus, what happened to the color on that one? I had a feeling we'd hear from the professor sooner or later. One iced tea, compliments of the benevolent beast. Don't you ever quit grandstanding, Hank? Yeah, and also, that's fucking gross. I'm just gonna say it. He's doing that with his feet. Like, He didn't make the drink with his feet, I hope. I mean, his shoes were on. Okay, so this is even worse. Warren is right. Look at him. He still has his shoes on. So that means he specifically took off his shoes so he could show off and hand it to him with his disgusting feet, which have been marinating inside his shoes for who knows how long. I'm just saying. It's fucking gross. Warren's right. Like, it doesn't need to be all the time, man. Like, we get it. Like, he could be wiping his ass with his feet. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know what he does with those things. I've never seen him wash his feet. I know that much. Then, suddenly, the youth known as Cyclops receives a mental image transmitted by the most powerful mutant brain of all time. Hold it. Be silent, all of you. The professor is making contact again. I have finally located the hidden cave of Lucifer. Now here, in the heart of the Balkans, I face my most crucial battle. Dude, if I was one of the students, I'd be so pissed off if I saw that chair. I'd be like, you're telling me you've got the money to get this fucking chair that will take you spelunking down to the center of the earth or whatever the fuck this is, but you're gonna make us push you around in a chair at home. Like, what else is he making them do? What else is he making them do? It was Lucifer who lost me. Okay. Here we go. Here's the first retcon to Charles's little floppy noodle legs there. Because remember, earlier, in an earlier comic, issue 2, or something, he said it was a childhood accident. Okay? So, but we have to remember, that might have been the same timeline where Scott was Slim Summers instead of Scott Summers. I'm really glad they changed his name. Slim Summers. I hate it. It was Lucifer who lost me the use of my legs years ago. Someday, I shall tell you the whole story if I survive the next few hours. But now, Cyclops, these are your instructions. If I should be defeated, then you, my X-Men, must carry on. Lucifer must never menace mankind again. I've transmitted my location to you. I can do no more. Professor, wait! Don't fight him alone! We'll be there soon! You must not jeopardize your safety. Hydraulic extendo arms can hold me safely. And a short distance away, a pair of cold, unblinking eyes surveys the scene with naked hatred. Alright, we gotta think of a good Lucifer voice. I don't believe for a fucking second, by the way, that his parents named him Lucifer. I think this is some asshole that wants to seem menacing and tough. Like, he's like the guy from Grandma's Boy, who's making the robot noises and wears the fucking clothes from The Matrix, you know? He's kind of a loser to me. So, but he's got some, I mean, he can back up some of his threat here. So what kind of voice do I want to give him? Like a loser pushed over the edge, maybe? Let me think. Maybe I'll go real flamboyant with it. He does look like a dickhead. Like his head, it's got the bulb of a penis. Like, there's the helmet, like, and then it, like, culminates into the tip. Yeah, let's make him real flamboyant. Oh boy. In fact, let me get another beer so I can give myself more time to think about what I want to do with them. Alright, I got it. I have the perfect voice for my man Lucifer, the try-hard villain of the week. Oops. See if I can't find some kind of a classic villain movie music to use. Alright. There we go. Very dramatic. He is as alert as ever, but this time, not even his buoyant brain can save him. Even he cannot overcome the power of the artificial dust devil. And so, a dust devil. It cannot exist in a place like this, so it must be artificially caused. That means it's the work of Lucifer. Idiomatic name for Western Desert Dust Storm, Stan. Then, before Professor Xavier can act, this strange phenomenon hurls him from his chair, and it's carrying me through the tunnel as if it has a mind of its own. Oh my god, I would love to think like his legs are like just flopping, like helicoptering around as he's being like spun upside down, because he's got no control of his legs. So they would just be kind of like flopping or flying around like a helicopter, right? It's amazing. Somehow he can still talk. And in a sense, it does. The mind of Lucifer. As in, the thing having a mind of its own. Finally, the strange force hardens, imprisoning Professor X in front of his long sought-after foe. Lucifer, at last! It's like in a weird bubble. I love it. Huh. It's like a Magneto try-hard. Your quest is ended, Xavier, in the only way it could end. Now I shall finish the job I began years ago. Now I shall destroy you. Never, murderer. Did you think I would come to you unarmed or unprepared? This is what I love about this comic. Like, once in a while, somebody will literally pull out a fucking Glock and just be like, well, time for plan B. And just, I love it. I don't know why I love it, but I love it. It's the most American thing you can do. Stop, you fool. If I am harmed, the entire world is doomed. What? But let us leave the two mighty antagonists for a moment and turn our attention to a nearby barbarian village where we find... Gee, it looks so peaceful. It's hard to believe that somewhere beneath us, the professor is battling that Lucifer character. Oh wait, that's supposed to be Bobby. Well, that works too. Careful, Bobby. Don't mention any names aloud. Oh wait. No, okay, now I see where the chat bubbles is. I thought it was like coming from the town or something. So that was Jean Grey. Careful, Bobby. Don't mention any names aloud. They both look like they're wearing glasses. That's got to be Scott, because he's the only one getting orders directly. We'll have to remain alerted here until I receive further orders from X. Suddenly, a powerful, dramatic figure plummets down from the sky behind the X-Men. Oh boy. Now, I didn't even think about it, the idea that I had to voice all the Avengers too. I'll give him some kind of burly voice, I guess. At last, I seem to be nearing the end of our search. What is it, Thor? Why did you stop? I might have to workshop that. Oh wait, no, that's Giant Man. What is it, Thor? Why did you stop? We have followed these strange impulses all the way from America, but now my hammer begins to quiver. Our goal is near at hand. Well, it's about time. I hope that so-called enchanted hammer of yours hasn't led us on a wild goose chase, partner. Impossible. The impulses which it detected are so evil, so strong, that they must be found. Hold it, Avengers. It looks as though we have company, but judging by the car, it's just a tourist. I seem to have lost my way. Could you direct me to... No. I suggest you just keep going, right, friend. This neighborhood may become dangerous before long. But I don't understand. We do not mean to frighten you, but a strange menace lurks by. We can't explain any more than that, but we suggest you leave the area as soon as possible. For goodness sake, do you need a house to fall on you? Can't you take a hint? Now go. Now go on, scat. And with that, the startled tourist gets the message. Well, he could have said goodbye. And he left his sweet hat. And just a few brief minutes later... Hey, what's going on here? Normal people at last, thank goodness. Look out. Quick, call the police, the army, anybody. There's monsters back there, creatures with wings, hammers, shields, even giants. Compose yourself, sir. You're babbling incoherently. He seems to be in a state of shock. He obviously saw something which startled him. You're telling me this guy doesn't know what any of the Avengers look like? Not a single one? I guess maybe he's like from a small island country in the middle of nowhere. They didn't say where he was touring from, right? I'm just saying, like, the guy looks like an American flag. He couldn't maybe make an educated guess. Fucking shield. I don't know. Like a demigod being on Earth is a big deal in and of itself. Like, can you imagine if Thor came to our planet for real? Like, there'd religion would collapse in on itself. You know what I mean? Doesn't know who any of the Avengers are. It may be connected with Lucifer. You better scout the area, Angel. Be careful, Warren. Don't worry, Jean. My Blue Cross is all paid up. Yeah, because you're rich. I won't take the time to don my uniform. Nobody here is apt to recognize me as Warren Worthington III. Besides, every second may count. Alright, that's enough of that music. I just wanted that for Lucifer. He deserves it. What, who's saying? Oh, flight. What a gorgeous feeling this is, what I was born for. Flight? He's thinking to himself? Flight. That's a little awkward. Just a little. Oh no, what have I gotten into? Next I'll be seeing pink and elephants in a gremlin's gangway. I'm taking the next plane back to Ohio. So not only does he not know who Captain America is, but he is from America in Ohio. Go fuck yourself. And what's even more pathetic about this? This is even closer to when World War II happened. So, like, it's not even like a great amount of time has gone by as far as, like, when everything is going down. So okay, all right. Here's my headcanon. I've lived in Ohio for a good while, so I can say this. He's from Ohio, so he doesn't know who Captain America is. It writes itself. All right. Never mind. It makes sense. Wait, we didn't mean to frighten you. No, let him go. Oh, wait, no, that's... Who is that? I feel like either one of these guys could be... I'm going to say this is Beast because he's blue, so I'm just going to make a snap decision. No, let him go, Jean. It's better this way. This entire area may be unsafe for any normal humans as far as we know. While hundreds of yards below in the cave of Lucifer... Talk. Why is the world in danger if you should be harmed? He's got his fucking... just his gat trained on him. I love it. Because I have outsmarted you, Xavier. Turn your head. See what I have created in the next chamber. A giant... Oh, that's him. A giant thermal bomb, enough to blow up a continent. Exactly. Now study the wiring pattern with your intellect. You'll notice the truth in seconds. Win 1, lose 50. The control circuits are attuned to your own heartbeat. Now I see it. You found the perfect defense against me. Of course I knew you'd find me sooner or later, but if my heartbeat should stop, if I should die, the bomb will go off. Nothing can stop it. Now you see why you are helpless against me. You are the only one I fear. No other can match my brilliance. What's the time span past from issue 1 to this? Same year? Was it weekly? Since the first issue to this, it's been a little over a year real time as far as like their, when it was released. The issue before last is when they just graduated. So I want to say it was like a year they probably all spent together training. Jean aside, the boys of the team might have spent a little more time together, because it seems like when issue 1 came out, Jean was just joining and getting to know the team, but all the boys of the team, Cyclops, Beast, Iceman, whatever, they all seem to know each other and worked well together already. So I want to say it's probably been a little over a year since we were introduced to the team, them graduating, all that. But yeah, I mean, we're only on issue 9, and in their time, it's been, I think, a little over a year. So you don't, being an X-Men early on, you don't get a whole lot. You get these 9 issues that first year, that, since issue 1. So I imagine for people that really like the story, it must have been hard waiting. I was saying earlier, it's like Berserk level of waiting, Like, you're lucky if you get an issue this year. Of course, as you know, things change pretty quickly. I'm sure by the time we get to issue like 300, there'll be like 10 X titles going at the same time, So, things will shift. Match my brilliance. And so I am free to continue my master plan for power. I shall begin by attacking your puny X-Men who wait above, so innocently, so unsuspectingly. Using a mental directional impulse, I shall hurl a destructive ionic ray at them. I have waited years to begin my attack upon humanity. And what a dramatic beginning this shall be. My first victims, the X-Men themselves. But the most powerful brain on Earth is not without its own resources. In that same split second, Professor X hurls a mental illusionary figure of himself towards the surface. I must harness every ounce of mental energy I possess. The very lives of my X-Men are all at stake. Couldn't he just brainwash the dude? Like, you are now a good person. Is there any reason why he couldn't do that to Lucifer? Maybe it'll be explained. I tend to nitpick things too quickly sometimes. Only Professor Xavier and the evil mutant known as Magneto have the power to execute the incredible feat you see before you. But it is only the supremely gifted Xavier can project his mental image fast enough to exceed the speed of Lucifer's ionic ray. I'm gaining if I can just maintain this pace. And then the professor sends a warning thought speeding ahead of his own image. Danger, my X-Men! Scatter, disperse! It's the professor. Run! You heard the man. Leaping into action without hesitation, justifying their long, hard months of intensive training, the X-Men escaped the dreaded ionic ray by mere seconds. Its mission successful, the professor's mental image fades into nothingness as the integrated band of teenagers now grid themselves for battle. No need for civilian guard now. The pretense has ended. The prelude is over. And now, the curtain rises on Act 1. The stage is set, the cast is assembled. And unless I am grievously mistaken, the Beast is destined to play a stellar role. I don't know what danger threatens the Professor, or us. I don't even know who Lucifer is. All that I do know is that the X-Men are needed. And that's enough for Iceman. Marble Girl reporting, Cyclops. Why, what's wrong? Look out, you'll stumble in that hole in front of you. That's not enough time to sidestep. You're telling me it was quicker to telekinetically move a piece of wood underneath your foot than it was to... Doesn't matter. Just doesn't matter. Well done, Marvel Girl. That thought it's the professor. Oh, wait, no, it's... Okay. Well done, Marvel Girl. That thought it's the professor. I must warn you, if you encounter Lucifer, defend yourselves with all your power, but he must not be slain, nor even psychically harmed. There's no time for further explanation. But know this, if anything affects Lucifer's heartbeat, all of Earth may be in peril. And now, behind you, I sense more danger. Gosh, now what? Stand your ground. I speak for the Avengers. We have detected an awesome menace, one which we must destroy for the safety of mankind. The Avengers, gosh. Now, what do we do now? I am Cyclops. I speak for the X-Men. You must not interfere. The mission is ours. Nonsense, son. We fight for the same cause. Let us join forces. Why does every group we meet try to hog the battle for themselves? If you attempt to stay our hand, we shall suspect your motives, so be warned. Careful, Scott. Don't antagonize them. Wow, we're in it for now. Judging by the emanations from my hammer, the evil which is near may not be compromised. It is too powerful. It must be destroyed. It must be completely destroyed. Then what are we waiting for? A bunch of teenagers can't stop the Avengers. But suddenly, the invisible mental image of Professor X again appears. Stop them. Lucifer must not be harmed. I will deal with him. You must delay the Avengers at all costs. But in the name of heaven, how do we stop them? Enough talk. My hammer shall lead us to the one we must destroy. No, stay back. Let me explain. I warned you. X-Men, attack at will. We don't want to hurt you, but nobody gets away with attacking the Avengers. Not even those who call themselves X-Men. Once I grab this hammer, I'll make mincemeat out of that shield of yours. I don't get it. It feels as though it's cemented to the ground. I can't budge it. Use your wings, Angel. Up. I'll endeavor to render that spinning shield totally ineffectual. It's funny. It almost looks like he's grabbing the speech balloon a little. It's time to demonstrate that even a bunch of masked teenagers can challenge the mighty Avengers if those teenagers happen to possess mutant powers. Nice going, Beastie. Now we'll show those... Uh-oh. Where'd he come from? Where did who come from, Iceman? I won't keep you in suspense much longer, X-Men. But it's time someone tie you not to take things that belong to you. Giant Man, would you mind modulating your voice to a softer pitch? The resonance from your oversized larynx is virtually deafening. Save your flowery phrases for someone who'll be more impressed, son. I hold a few college degrees myself. Now, go swallow another dictionary while I attend to more urgent matters. Here's a quick freezing icy sweatshirt for you, Stretch. This'll cramp your style real good. Relax, you word-slinging wonder. I'll stop you from falling. A most opportune gesture, but I suggest you divert your attention to the wasp, who seems to have have you in her sights. If I could just reach that titanian-haired tigress? Titanian? I guess from her perspective, she's big. Okay. It's just strange. If I could just reach that titanian-haired tigress in time. Put me down, Avenger, I warn you. I hate to attack that young Iceman, but I may have to. Stay your hand, Wing One. Your mortal blows are but a feather touches to Thor. Perhaps so, but I'm keeping you busy to attack any other X-Men. Young fella, I have a collection of warnings that would make your eyes pop. My eyes, I can't see. That's the idea, sweetie. You can't affect what you can't see. I should be able to handle her, if no one gives her a fly swatter. Whoop. Iron Man about to swoop down on my frosty little friend. If I can twist my body enough in the air and, I did it. My compliments, Beast. You're quite nimble for someone without transistors, but being unable to fly, you can't stop me again. Meantime, having done all he can do on the surface, Professor X once again turns his full attention to the deadly foe who stands before a wireless video viewer. Your X-Men are keeping the Avengers for me. A very wise move on their part. And now that I have you cringing helplessly before me, I shall win my greatest victory. Your time has come, Xavier. There's no physical force I can use or would dare use to use against him. But my greatest power has ever been the power of my brain, and this will be my most difficult task. I must narrow a mental shockwave enough to stun him without injuring him in any way. Only a knowledgeable brain surgeon could appreciate the delicacy of my task, and even he would never believe such a mental feat is possible. Gently, one hair's breadth error could still his heart. In my mind's eye, I see his brain as clearly as the traveler reads a road map. I must circumvent the portion of the medulla oblongata nearest the spinal column as I penetrate the most sensitive area of the cerebellum. What is happening to me? Why have my movements become so stiff? No matter. It will take but one shot to... My brain is clouded. I can't think. Can't remember everything. Going blank. Blank. I did it. He's lost consciousness. He's helpless. But what if I apply too much pressure? Even the most minuscule error could affect his heart and detonate the bomb. His heartbeat seems regular, but I am no physician. I cannot be certain. At least he still lives. If only I could find a way to remove the bomb fuse while he is helpless. But for such a task, I need my X-Men's assistance. Meanwhile, directly overhead, the X-Men are still fighting a valiant, though uphill battle. We've been handling you with kid gloves up till now, Cyclops, but we're beginning to lose patience. We can't stop till we hear from the professor. How much longer can my telekinetic power help? My head is splitting now. You're wasting your time, Marvel Girl. You can't stop me with some floating stones. What fate could have befallen the professor if he'd only communicate with us again? No mere barrier of ice can stay Thor's hammer. Give up this useless battle or I strike. Go fly a kite, Curly Locks. You're too square to scare anyone. But then, Just as the enraged thunder god can contain his fury no longer, there is no need for that, Thor. They have not defied you, I have. A voice speaking in my brain, and yet it comes not from Asgard. What sorcery is this? The seconds fly by as the fabulous Xavier, no longer forced to parry Lucifer's thrusts, finally explains the entire situation to the immortal Avenger. So, you see, we had to stop you from attacking Lucifer. Your message has the unmistakable ring of truth. You have acted wisely, X-Man. And from what you have told me, your skill is needed more than our strength in the hours remain. The fight is ended, Iceman. You will have no further need to shield yourself from Thor. Ooh, lucky for me, he smashed my intensified ice as though it was a twine of pane window glass. So, long story short, the X-Men would have gotten spanked had this fight gone on long enough. Rightfully so. I mean, I have to imagine the Avengers have been operating for a few years at this point. And so, the unwarranted battle comes to an inconclusive end. Avengers, assemble. His arms are outstretched. That's our signal to end hostilities. Sounds important. It takes the Thunder God but a moment to cue the others in, and then, I vote we allow the X-Men to deal with their foe in their own manner. All in favor signify aye. I stand with Thor, but I vote we make it unanimous. So be it. Aye. Well, little ones, it seems we've traveled clear across the Atlantic only to blunder into someone else's fight. It wasn't all a waste. I did get to meet that dreamy angel. He is a child, and isn't that your husband? Wasp and Giant Man are together. She basically just cucked him. Like, that would be like, I don't know. It's just shitty. Do I need to explain it? That's fucked. I'm wasting my time as usual. Hank is too smart to act jealous. So she is being a vindictive bitch. Alright, just checking. I've never actually read any Avengers comics. I don't know anything about them in the way that they exist at this point in time. Better fall in behind Cap, Thor. Your time has expired. It's his turn to be group chairman for the week. They make me realize that humanity is worth defending. Why? Too bad Goldilocks broke it up so soon. I was just starting to get warmed up. You're not fooling anyone, Bobby. Dream on, Bobby. By next week, you'll have yourself convinced they were all begging for mercy just before the fight ended. Let's dispense with the post-mortems, colleagues. Cyclops is calling us. Hi, Psych. What's our next move? That's what we're going to find out. Nobody speak. You've acquitted yourselves with honor, my X-Men, but now our final task remains. My mental impulses shall guide you to the lair of Lucifer. Come at once. Directly ahead is the mouth of the cave. Enter it and take the left fork. Excuse me. Let me drink some more beer to help get rid of the hiccups. Also, what is this music? It's like something from Silent Hill. Hold it, fellas. Let me fly ahead and check for any unexpected dangers. A commendable thought, Angel, but there is no need for reconnaissance. I have mentally checked every inch of your route. You will all be safe. Now, remain where you are while I send you a hydraulic conveyor to bring you to your destination. It will safely accommodate only 4, Angel, so you may glide to the depths under your own power. It looks as though it goes on forever. I can't see the bottom. But finally, after a breathtaking descent into the Alright. But finally, after a breathtaking descent into the unknown... Professor, are you alright? That must be Lucifer on the floor, over there. How do you ever get down here by yourself, sir? They're gonna be pissed. I would be pissed if you had this fucking chair the whole time. I'm just saying. I'll explain later. Now I need the angel. Oh wait, no. Yes, I am safe, but there's much for us to do. These word bubbles are weirdly placed. I was probably supposed to read that one before the far right one, but the far right one was higher. How was I supposed to know? I guess left to right. Next time. Fly straight ahead to the top of that bomb. Cyclops, follow behind. Your power too will be needed. The others will remain below to guard Lucifer. And... while ascending to the top of the bomb, the professor briefs his X-Men as to the problem that faces them, and then... So if anything changes or stops Lucifer's heartbeat, the bomb will explode. Then what can we do to prevent such a catastrophe? We must remove the fuse. By sheer mental prowess, I might be able to locate it, but my thoughts alone are not powerful enough to affect a lifeless object of that sort. I think I see what your purpose is, Professor. You'll find the fuse, and Cyclops will use his power beam to shatter it. Precisely. And so, the crucial project begins. Have you detected it yet, sir? Do not speak. I must concentrate on nothing but the task at hand. Down, down, down into the very heart of the very most innermost core of the gigantic... Down, down, down into the very heart, the very innermost core of the gigantic explosive device probes the super-powerful mutant brain of the brilliant Xavier. Looks like he is wielding his mind with his skin stretching. Yeah, you know, as a kid, when I used to read older comics like that, like, sometimes I would not understand the effect that they were trying to convey. Yeah, I remember being younger, being like, what is happening? Is, like, that supposed to be water or something? Like, that's what my child brain would see. Like, there's water and sparks, I don't... And to be fair, I don't know that what he's doing even makes that much sense. But I guess he can astral project himself, so why not be able to just send his mind alone? I don't know. Yeah, the tradesman and his crowd. The slightest miscalculation, the merest error, could trigger a holocaust. Then suddenly the bomb begins to throb as though mystically endowed with a life of its own. No, no, it can't be. I've done nothing wrong. I've made no error. But next he hears, Professor, it's not your fault. It's Lucifer. His heartbeat is growing weaker. Of course, by concentrating so hard on the bomb, I lost control of him. I must leave a portion of my thoughts within his brain no matter what. For the bomb is aimed at the heart of Antarctica. Should it be detonated, the entire frozen continent will be decimated within a matter of split seconds. The oceans of the world will become monstrous, deadly cascading mountains of water destroying all in their path. Namor would do all right. No area of Earth will be safe from the thundering tidal waves which will engulf the coasts of every continent. it would be the worst disaster to ever strike the human race. We'll be fine. And only we can prevent it, as we must do before something happens to the man whose heartbeat controls the deadly fuse. I can't help but think Tony Stark would have been a huge fucking asset on this problem here. Hell, even Giant Man and the Wasp would be useful because they could just shrink down and go into the bomb itself. I don't think that they should have, like, batted the Avengers away so quickly. Scott, I found it, but all this probing has sensitized it. It's about to go out as if by spontaneous combustion. It's up to you, Cyclops. We haven't a second to spare. You must use full power. Narrowed to the hairline's intensity now. Straight down. Steady. Steady 2 millimeters to the left. Easy. 1 degree right. Hold it. Hold it. Someone knocked on my door hard just to get me to move my car so they could get their car jump-started. Knocking hard is for cops and emergencies. Yeah, I don't like it when people do that either, especially if they're asking you a favor as well. Oh, son of a bitch. That sucks, man. Unavoidable. That's some shit. See, this is why I've got my own little... I got my own little jumper battery just for that occasion. So I don't need to ask nobody for nothing. You know? Go to Costco. Get one off Amazon. For real. Just a little battery jumper. Everyone should have one. Jumper cables are for the birds. Alright, buddy. Sorry to hear that. Try to get some good rest and, sleep off the terrible rivals experience. Thanks for watching, man. Thanks for hanging out. Even as the two X-Men breathlessly combine their powers, the deadly giant bomb begins to heave and throb, about to perform the unthinkable mission it was designed for, as the strain grows greater and greater. Stay calm. It's now or never. You mustn't quiver. The fuse is directly below. Just a few inches further. Steady. Don't alter the intensity now. You did it. The fuse shattered. It can't explode. This has been your most glorious moment, Scott. Though mankind may never know what you have done, the entire human race owes you an eternal debt. But mine was merely the tool, sir. Yours was the brain, the guiding genius that accomplished the impossible. Be that as it may, we must return to Lucifer now. And so, by releasing control of his brain, he shall return to normal again. Rise, Lucifer. The episode has ended, and so is the threat of your bomb. He sure looks mean. What I can see of him. It took me 10 years to construct that device, and you've destroyed it within minutes. This evens our score. Now, Xavier, but the next time we meet, the final decision shall be mine. No, Lucifer, the score is not yet even. Be great if you just paralyzed him right now. Remember what he said earlier? Lucifer was responsible for him being paralyzed. That's not going to hold up for very long. You have merely seen a diabolical scheme go up in smoke, but I have been deprived of the use of my legs all these years due to you. Our account is not yet settled, and now go. Then why am I not harmed? Why am I free to leave? 'Cause you're fucking pathetic. Because we X-Men are pledged never to cause injury to a human being. no matter what the provocation. It is enough that you have been defeated for the first time in your evil career. It is enough that you will always know that no place on Earth is too remote to escape the retribution of the X-Men. That is extremely careless. At least give them to the Avengers, right? Like, that bitch made a fucking nuke and threatened the world. You don't just send him off into the fucking forest. And everybody there is just like super cool with it. There are just no thoughts, no like, actually, Professor, shut the fuck up. This bitch is going to prison. Give him to the UN? I don't know. Terrible. Terrible decision. Especially the guy that fucking paralyzed you. Surely that's a crime. Whatever. I guess they never said that they were crime fighters, so... I'd still like to know who he really is, but I guess the professor will have to tell us in his own good time. And so, we leave the world's most unusual adventure team, but many are many are the startling dangers which still await them, dangers which you'll see next issue, when we meet again. The end. We finally get Jean's pinup. I bet back then this was like straight to the spank bank for a lot of kids. Like, oh my god, you can almost see her boobies through her shirt. And, gee golly gosh, those gams. Super hot. 10 out of 10. Alright. Not bad. I liked it. I mean, I liked, it was entertaining overall. I'll say that. I like that Cyclops got to have a big moment where he got to, essentially surgically defuse the bomb. That was pretty cool. How, Scott and Xavier worked together. I liked it. But obviously, like I said before, had Xavier just had his mental control on Lucifer, they could have used like Iron Man, Wasp and Giant Man, the Wasp and Giant Man to probably defuse it a lot more safer. Because it seemed like it was down to the wire, man. I mean, if... Oh, and look at this lying cover. The chair did not look like that. Just gonna say. Liar. And it's a good thing that chair got destroyed before they got there, because if I was one of the students, man, I'd be like, how long have you had this chair? No. Yeah, we stopped Lucifer. Great. You've got like 6 more of these, right? Like you're rich, you know? Yeah. So let's see, what do we got for trivia and notes before I sign off here? Okay, yeah, see, the notes even mention it. In X-Men #1, Professor Xavier says he had lost the use of his legs in a childhood accident. The full origin of Professor Xavier on how Professor Xavier lost his legs is given in X-Men 20. So does it... well, you know, we're not too far away. Give it like 2 weeks, we'll get to issue 20, and we could see for the 3rd time how they decide to retcon his little noodles. So... The issue states that Professor X is located... Oh, who gives a shit? This trivia is terrible. Alright, but for tomorrow, we are going to get started into... That fucking Conan the Barbarian... Oh, it's Kazar! So that means we're going to the Savage Lands. Right on. I always remember playing that old X-Men video game on Sega Genesis. And I just, for the longest time, I didn't understand, like, why does the very first level start off in a jungle? How do we end up in, like, a hologram room or space station? The game was, like, all over the place. So I got a lot of good memories of the Savage Land just through video gaming alone. So I'm gonna look forward to that personally. So, but that's gonna do it for me today, guys. I'm gonna be back tomorrow. Let's see, right? What is today even? Thursday? Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. We're probably gonna do some more comics. There's a chance I might be ready for VR, but I'm probably gonna do more comics. But JD, man, thanks for hanging out for a good most of the stream. Bravo, thanks for hanging out, coming by. Hope you're doing well in your life. But you know what I say, whether you watch now or later, wherever you are, whenever you are, be good out there. Be nice to each other. And I'll show you why your future could be good tomorrow again, too. Take care.
Yo, listen up as I narrate the Vector's tale. A man from afar riding the temporal gale. Ronin by name and a Ronin by fate. In the tapestry of time he's got a date. He ain't just saving, he's exploring the rift. In the timelines he travels, he's given a lift. Seeking tech and secrets in a world that's gone astray. Ronin's the man who's gonna find a way. Ronin Vector, the chrono navigator. In the flow of time, he's the prime innovator. Exploring the realms where few dare to venture. He's the Ronin Vector, the timeline's avenger. From a future so bright to our present so bleak, he's the silent watcher, the tech he does seek. Not just a savior, but a seeker of lore. Ronin's the key to what we're looking for. Through the ruins and the relics, he's making his mark. A beacon of hope in the timeline so dark. With every secret he finds, every piece he retrieves. He's crafting a future nobody believes. Ronin Vector, with a vision so clear. In the shadows of time, he's got nothing to fear. An explorer at heart, with a will that won't sever. He's the Ronin Vector, forever and ever. So when you feel the ground shake and the air gets colder, know that Ronin's passing by as the world grows older. In the whispers of time, his legends inscribed. Ronin Vector, the man who defied. Ronin Vector, the chrono navigator. In the flow of time, he's the prime innovator. Exploring the realms where few dare to venture. He's the Ronin Vector, the timeline's avenger. Ronin Vector, with a vision so clear. In the shadows of time, he's got nothing to fear. An explorer at heart, with a will that won't sever. He's the Ronin Vector, forever and ever. So when you feel the ground shake and the air gets colder, know that Ronin's passing by as the world grows older. In the whispers of time, his legends inscribed. Ronin Vector,